I got isekai'd into a novel, tartar. I wasn't panicking at all, because I got reincarnated as a random extra with zero relation. The male and female leads. Yesterday, an auntie who's a doctor asked me, "Yeah, and do you have any plans to get married? Should I introduce someone to you? In my past life, I didn't even have a girlfriend, and now I'm already inside a book. Getting married sounds fine too. So here I was standing outside the Civil Affairs Bureau, looking at my blind date partner, and swallowing hard. Oh my God, where did she come from, drop-dead? Gorgeous, stunning face, slender waist, and ridiculously long legs. Satisfied with me. Why wouldn't I be? It's just that Aunt Ha said your character is great, so I came. But I have to admit, I'm already digging her cute looks. I'm pretty satisfied with you too. I also believe what Aunt Ha said, that you're a great match for me. If that's the case, let's not waste any time. Let's go inside and register. Okay. Having finished our registration, we stepped out of the Civil Affairs Bureau. I only have myself in my family, so I totally didn't need to take Gunyanian back home to meet any elders. But Gunyanian has parents, and furthermore, she didn't want to live far from them. Since we'd already registered our marriage, what was there to fear? I, of course, agreed to follow Gunyanian home. But I didn't drive here. Should I call a taxi? To go back, I drove. Following the direction of her pointing finger, I realized that right outside the Civil Affairs Bureau, out of nowhere, several luxury cars had been parked. Even the cheapest one must have cost at least 3 million yuan. Are you that rich? Didn't Aunt Ha tell you? She just said your personality is gentle. Your character is absolutely trustworthy. You have no illnesses and no debts. And she felt we were a good match, so she introduced us. She kept her mouth sealed tight. At Aunt Ha. Aunt Ha didn't tell you. Tell me what? You know the Gu Group, right? How could I not know? Gu Group was literally the family business of the female lead, Gunyanian, in the novel I had been Kwenyo Isekai'd here for 5 years already. Even though the news said the female lead had taken over the Gu Group and become its CEO, female lead's appearance had still not been revealed to the public. I was literally the heir of the Gu Group. Oh Lord, it's over. Gunyanian is the female lead, so doesn't your name happen to be Bai Yuan? The person who registered for marriage with me was clearly Bai Yuan, right? That's right, my name's is Bai Yuan. My husband is such a comedian. I'm an only child, and ever since I was little, people always wanted to pull bad stunts on me. My family worried about my safety. Temporarily had me change my name to Bai Yuan, waiting until I grew up to change it back. Well, you're this old now, why haven't you changed it back? I've just been busy with work and haven't had time. Deal with it. I'll go change it in a few days. The stubborn female lead in the book actually turned out to be my wife. Wasn't the female lead meant for the male lead? Why did she turn into my wife instead? My husband is so interesting. What about what Aunt Ha said, that we're a great match? My mom was originally worried I was a bad guy, so she secretly followed us. The result. Just now she texted saying this guy is a great match for me. I had finished panicking. In a split second, my expression filled completely. My face with a cunning smirk. 9 yuan for the marriage fee, I'll pay it. Let's change our relationship to friends instead. Okay? Oh, you hate me that much? I refuse to get a divorce. The rice is already cooked into porridge, now let's go. Follow me home. Mom is waiting to meet you. I felt like I was being dragged into a Rolls-Royce, laughing and crying at the same time. Gunyanian sat next to me, leaning against my shoulder. Phone call home. I shifted away, wanting to dodge a bit further from her, but she just shifted right along with me, until I was pinned flush against the car door with nowhere else to hide. You're still laughing. Can I not? Okay, I'll stop laughing. Come on, scoot back over here. We hadn't even reached the Gu family mansion yet, and my head was already aching like crazy. According to the story in the book, it would take another 5 years for her to meet the male lead, who was a movie emperor. In particular, Mother Gu was extremely worried about Gunyanian having a crush on the male lead. Why wouldn't I get a divorce? Now the rice has already been cooked. To porridge. Let's go. Follow me home. Mom and son are waiting to meet you. I found myself dragged into the luxury SUV crying, but laughing awkwardly, holding back as Nian Nian sat next to me, leaning against my shoulder and casually making phone call home. I shifted away, wanting to keep some distance from her, but she followed right along till I was pressed right against the car door with nowhere else to run. Are you still smiling, can't you? Fine, I won't smile anymore. Come on, scoot back over here. Before we even reached the Gu family's villa, my head was already aching all over. According to the story in the book, it would take another 5 years for her to meet the male lead, who was a movie star, especially since Mother Gu was extremely worried about Gunyanian having a crush on the male lead, especially heartbroken seeing Gunyanian turn into a completely different person, going all out to chase the male lead. This left the mother and daughter Birkon extremely stressed out. That guy was the male lead and a movie emperor, yet they still didn't even think he was good enough. How could they possibly ever value someone with no backing like me, a total nobody, an 18th tier actor in the industry? Gu family bodyguard opened the car door. Gu Nianian stepped out and seeing me, dazed with my soul hanging somewhere up in the trees. She asked, "What are you thinking about? Let's get out." Oh, right away. I hurriedly climbed out of the car, following Gu Nianian up to the living room entrance. Gu Nianian's mother walked over, enthusiastically pulling my hand. "Yeah, Chin, you're finally my son-in-law. Our mom has been longing for this for days." Mother. Why was she acting like she liked me? This extreme. What are you spacing out for? Hurry up and call her mom. I snapped back to my senses and called out Mom. Mother Gu beamed from ear to ear, stuffing 2 red envelopes into my hands. "This is a greeting gift from me and Nianian's dad," he said. "He's currently away on a business trip abroad. You guys registered your marriage a bit hastily, so he won't be back for a few more days. This is too embarrassing. This is just a greeting gift, all right, other things I still need to prepare. Do you need me to remind you? I prepared it ages ago. I only have this one precious son-in-law, so of course I can't leave anything out after that." Mother Gu pulled me over to sit on the sofa, asking after me with all sorts of care, seeing her indescribably happy. I looked at Mother Gu and asked curiously, "Mom, did you already know about me before this?" "Well, it's like this, didn't Mom always look for a son-in-law, but could never find anyone satisfactory. Mom and Liha are close sisters. She mentioned you to me and said you're a very good boy a while ago. Mom secretly came to observe you for several days straight, and the more I looked, the more I liked you. So I had to ask your Aunt Ha to definitely help me make you my son-in-law." Now Mom's heart can finally rest easy. I couldn't have imagined that. Mother Gu and Aunt Liha were good friends. Aunt Liha worked at the city hospital, a doctor I got to know 4 years ago. If I hadn't time traveled, I wouldn't have known Aunt Ha, and Aunt Ha wouldn't have introduced me to Mother Gu, and today's events wouldn't have happened either. So did I change the plot? No, wait, wasn't I just a passerby with zero relation to the plot? "Son, they're here." They're here. Chen, hurry over here. This is your dad." "Hello, uncle." Father Gu's tone still had zero emotional fluctuations. He probably felt himself that he was too cold, so he gave cough, still showing zero emotion at all. "We're all family. From now on, the Gu family is your home. Don't be formal. Buy whatever you want to buy. Our family has nothing except tons of money. If your wife bullies you, just tell your mom or dad, and we'll deal with her for you." Snap out of it, Dad. Father Gu seemed a bit awkward. "Dear, over here. I'm busy." "All right then. Chen, How do you guys plan to hold the wedding? In the country, or abroad up in the sky, or down on earth, or a wedding at sea? I felt that my poverty had really limited my imagination. Can I hold it in the sky? Duh. Of course you can just have airplanes fly continuously in the sky, right? But don't worry about this part. Chen, our family, owns private jets from an airline. When the time comes, you can do whatever you want. I couldn't quite picture it, so I had to toss this difficult problem over to Gunyanian. Actually, I had my own little thoughts. What if Gunyanian didn't want to divorce me now, but waited until she met male lead, and inevitably wanted a divorce anyway? If we had to divorce sooner or later, why should I bother worrying about it? Leaving it all up to Gunyanian wasn't that much better. I might even gain a bit of favorability. Wife, how do you want the wedding to be organized? I have no objections, my dear Yechen. He really is interesting. What a comedian. The whole way here, he didn't even bother calling me wife once, and right now, he drops a wife, and even says such things entire way without deigning to call me husband even once yet. Right now, she called me husband, and even picked up saying things like that without actually caring about me at all. It seems she still wants a divorce. But hey, Ye Chen, what she said sounds like she actually respects my opinion quite a bit, so I'll grudgingly forgive. You then? Yes, dear wife. Then let me decide. Okay. Huh. Is this right? Why is the female lead nothing like what was written in the book? Shouldn't she be arrogant and taciturn? Why does she still have the mood to joke around with me like this? Well, this is great. Absolutely. Fantastic. My taste in Nianian is still the best. Look at them. How affectionate Ye Chen and our Nianian are being. Kunyan Nian didn't say anything either, just smiled and looped her arm through mine. Holding the wedding didn't just require me and Gunyanian to have the time. We also had to check if our friends and relatives could come. Attend. So the wedding was locked in for National Day 4 months later. After discussing the wedding details, Gunyanian came with me back to my old apartment, pack up my things. Once everything was packed, we planned to head back together, but her special assistant suddenly called. After finishing the call, Gunyanian turned to me. Yeah, Chen, I'm sorry I can't go back with you anymore. I have to make a trip back to the company. It's fine. Go ahead and handle your work. When Gunyanian gave me a light hug and got into the car right as I turned back, the Gu family villa, my phone suddenly rang. It was my talent agent and Duong calling. Yechen, Chairman Bin is very pleased with you. Tonight, come to the hotel to have dinner with him. That supporting male role will be yours. You better prepare yourself well, and are absolutely not allowed to refuse this time. In the end, are you even an agent or what? All day long you don't do any proper work and just think up shady, crooked schemes. What kind of attitude is that? I'm doing this for your own good? How could you want to throw away this chance to turn your life around? Besides, you signed a contract with the company. You have to cooperate with the company, otherwise it's a breach of contract. Does the contract say I have to go wine and dine clients? It doesn't say that if you didn't write it down. And don't bring up the contract to pressure me. I've said it from the start. You guys can only tell me to film and attend events, and I will always cooperate. But as for any other activities, don't you even think about it. That employment contract wasn't signed by me. It was signed right before I transmigrated here, when the original host's mother took on the identity of his guardian and signed it on his behalf the very next day. After signing the contract, the original host's mother packed up the money and fled abroad. That was also the exact day I crossed over here. Originally, I also planned to file a lawsuit, but I couldn't beat a contract that still held the original video footage, so I stamped out that idea. Even if they actually used this to threaten me, I wasn't guaranteed to win. However, I figured that with the IQ of that bunch of people, They probably hadn't even thought of this trick. By the time dusk fell the next day, Gunyanian had finally returned from the group. After finishing our meal and heading up to my room, I discovered that the greeting gifts given by Uncle and Aunt Lam each consisted of a card loaded with 100 million yuan. I seriously just wanted to toss both of these cards away right then and there. Gunyanian opened the safe. If you lose them, I'm not paying you back. Why did they look so hot to the touch? She chucked them away so casually, then inside her heart, she chuckled to herself. Why on earth did this happen? Why did he treat her, and even the gifts given by her family members, not only with a refusal to accept them, but also with seeming repulsion? Could it be that he had also discovered something about the secret of this world? No way, I'll have to probe him about it sometime. Unaware of the thoughts inside Gunyanian's heart, I just picked up my phone and called Aunt Ha. I'm so sorry, Yichen. Auntie didn't tell you the whole truth about the girl's background. Auntie really felt that the two of you were a great match and really wanted to play matchmaker for you two. But she was afraid that once you found out the girl's family was an elite top-tier chaebol family, with too vast a gap between you, you wouldn't agree. I know. This isn't entirely Aunt Lamha's fault. It's fine. Now then. After chatting for a bit longer, I finally handed the phone over to Gunyanian, the phone to call Aunt Ha. I'm so sorry, Jishan. Didn't tell you everything about the little girl's background. Auntie genuinely felt two of you were a great match and really wanted to hook you up, but I was afraid that once you knew the girl came from top-tier chaebol family, gap would be too wide, and you wouldn't agree. You know, this isn't entirely Auntie Lamha's fault. It's completely fine, Auntie. After chatting for a bit longer, I finally handed the phone over to Gunyanian. Gunyanian took it, chatted for a few more words, and then handed the phone back to me. After I went to take a shower, lying in bed, I suddenly noticed my talent agent calling again. Be at the company at 9 tomorrow morning. After saying that, he hung up right away. I didn't even bother taking it to heart. Hearing the sound of trickling water from the bathroom, I unconsciously drifted off while thinking about Gunyanian. Was this person really normal? Just today alone, she had already laughed several times. But the female lead in the book clearly smiled very rarely after falling in love with the male lead. But wait a minute, if I could isekai into a novel, who's to say she didn't too? But the aura exuded in her every gesture didn't look like she was acting much. She probably was born in this world to begin with. Oh well, let's just slowly observe and see how it goes. The divorce matter isn't urgent. Right at this moment, Gunyanian finished showering and stepped out. She truly lived up to her name as the female lead. This figure was drop-dead gorgeous. Yachin, you're very satisfied, right? Then let's not delay any longer. All right, I won't tease you anymore. However, Yachin, why are you lying so far away from me? I immediately shrunk back and replied right away. Yes, okay. Gunyanian burst out laughing, then reached out to turn off the lights. As she looked at me, she suddenly thought of a dream she had a month ago. I am the female lead in CEO romance novel. According to the plot, I would fall at first sight with the male lead in the future, and then use every means possible to force him to stay by my side, ultimately forcing him to leave this city forever and never return. Thinking of this, Gunyanian just felt utterly speechless. I am definitely not going to follow the author's script. So when my mom yesterday told me to go meet a blind date and register our marriage, I didn't refuse. Luckily I went, but why did Yoshin immediately propose a divorce the moment he found out I was Gunyanian? So I suspect that Ye Chen also awakened and knew I was the female lead. But since we've already registered our marriage, whether you awakened or not, there's no way to change the truth that we are already husband and wife. Feelings can be built up slowly anyway. The next morning when I woke up, there was completely no trace of Gunyanian. She had probably already gone to work. After all, she was a CEO. There's no way she'd have the free time like that. After finishing breakfast with butler Uncle Lam, I planned to head over to the management company. The bodyguards saw me getting ready to go out and immediately intended to tag along behind me. I'm just an 18th tier extra, who barely anyone knows. Why on earth do you guys keep following me around? The eldest young lady instructed us to stick close and protect you. Sir, I had no choice and had to dial Gunyanian's number. Gunyanian, do I have to go to the company? You don't need bodyguards following me around. Hurry up and tell them something. Gunyanian, flipping through a stack of documents with one hand, smiled and announced, Yechen, just let the bodyguards follow you to keep you safe. But I'm not some big shot figure. I'm just an 18th tier actor. Anyway, if this somehow gets snapped by someone and posted on Hotspot, they'll definitely say I'm a petty little actor, bringing bodyguards along to show off and put on a show. Who would want people to know about them this way? All right, you make sense, so forget it then. Hanging up the phone with Gunyanian and seeing that the bodyguards really weren't following anymore, I finally started my car. Thoroughly investigate dating entertainment. For me, I need to know why he is still stuck at the 18th tier. Logically speaking, that shouldn't be the case. Yechen had debuted for 5 years already. Even if you don't count his school days, it shouldn't reach the point where he's forever an unknown 18th tier actor that nobody knows. No. Something shady is definitely going on here. At the same time, I had just arrived at the entrance of Dotting Entertainment when I ran into my contemporary colleague Tanya. Hey, this guy loved coming to pick a fight with me, looks like. Another show is about to start soon. Hey, look who it is. Isn't this the guy who debuted a full 5 years ago? And is still a total nobody, Shenmo. Shen, what? I couldn't be bothered to argue with Shen anymore. Well, aren't you high and mighty? Serves you right that you're still an 18th tier loser. Didn't you go to the hotel last night, Shen, and leaving you as an aloof, serving at tier 18 Nuga, who is still missing from the hotel last night? So agent, and has already crossed me off. Let me tell you, Boss Bien has already agreed to let me play the second male lead. Aren't you super jealous of me? But who told you to always act so aloof and refuse to accept the arrangements made by Agent Ann Nut? This is driving me crazy. What does Shen depend on anyway? Just having a slightly better looking face than me. Why? Oh, why do all the big bosses coming to dating entertainment always target him first? Clearly, Tanya and I debuted at the same time, so why is it always me picking up the scraps left behind from the opportunities and resources that Shen rejects? After ranting for such a long stretch, does your heart feel relieved now? If so, you're way too easily satisfied, aren't you? Hateful, so detestable. It's driving me mad. If you didn't want to sing, why even join dating? What a total hypocrite. Go ahead and keep putting on an act. I'll keep my eyes wide open to see how long you can fake it. Oh, right, you probably don't know yet. I just heard from Agent on that. Boss Bayan finally couldn't hold back anymore and is preparing to make a move to deal with you. Otherwise, why do you think you were called to the company? Or finished speaking. Tan Yefei whistled blankly as he walked away. I couldn't even be bothered to give any heed to his words, just heading up to the second-floor office. Find An Duong. Go wait in the meeting room. Over there. I nodded and headed to the meeting room to wait. Inside the meeting room, there were already a few newcomers with popularity far surpassing mine sittings. There, they naturally didn't even bother. Look at a 5-year, zero popularity veteran like me with only 2 newcomers politely standing up and nodding in greeting. It took a long time before the 3 bosses of dating entertainment, including Din Tulayan and manager Duong, finally arrived. Their work efficiency is this low. No wonder this company could never take off. When will this even end? I just want to go home already. This is seriously too boring. My phone is about to blow up. I want to get it over with and go back. By 11 o'clock the next morning, the newcomers finally filed out, and it was finally my turn. At the same time, over at the office of the CEO plan of the GU Group, Wu Wei knocked on the door and entered to report to boss Kunyani An. The documents just investigated regarding Dotting Entertainment, where Immortal Shen is signed show. It's a company that specializes in living off breach of contract penalty fees from artists to make a profit. It has no background and no resources either. The couple running Dotting Entertainment simply targeted Immortal Shen's appearance, consistently pushing him to accept unspoken rules in exchange for opportunities, but Immortal Shen refused from start to finish. They only arranged trash roles for him. Having debuted for 5 years, Immortal Shen's public recognition has dropped to a miserable level, bleeding him dry of his youth like this. So my Shen had been bullied by that bunch for 5 whole years. The legal team has looked over Immortal Shen's contract. They stated that if they step up to handle this lawsuit, victory is guaranteed. They asked the boss's opinion on whether they should mobilize to help Immortal Shen terminate his contract once and for all. Lawsuits are too slow, and it's way too lenient on them after 5 years of bullying Shen. How can we possibly let them off that easily? Is there a faster and cleaner way? Yes, there's a clause in Immortal Shen's contract stipulating that in the event Dating Entertainment falls into desperate straits, bankruptcy, and is no longer capable of arranging work or providing opportunities for Immortal Shen, the contract will be instantly nullified. And I also investigated that those 2 couple members a few days ago mortgaged all of Dating's real estate to take out a bank loan reaching up to 100 million yuan, transferring it all to their personal accounts to pay off gambling debts for their precious son. Kunyanian nodded. Good, then leak that news out and make them go bankrupt instantly. Do you know what kind of person President Bien is? In his hands, he holds countless resources, yet last night you dared not go. Am I giving you too much face? Now why are you talking so much nonsense to him over all these years? Has he ever listened to us? In that case, leak that news out to make him go bankrupt immediately. Do you know what kind of person President Ken is? In his hands, he holds countless resources, yet last night you dared to stand him up. Am I spoiling you too much? Why are you talking so much to him over these past years? Has he ever listened to us? Other people would love, be arranged for, and don't even have the skills for it. Shen, why do you have to drive things to the point where both sides lose? So what on earth do the 2 of you want by calling me? Or to what could it possibly be? Naturally, it's about you and the company. I'm asking you for the last time from now on. Do you ultimately accept our arrangements or not? Clearly, his conditions were so good, and in the past, there were countless opportunities to become famous. Yet this brat stubbornly refused to accept them, causing the company up to now to still not have earned a single cent from him. It's driving me mad. I buried my face in my phone, too lazy to even bother replying inside my heart. I was speechless, thinking I don't know how many times I've already refused. Clearly, these 2 people heard it every single time, yet refused to give up, continuing to nag while also complaining that I'm hard to handle. Their ears must be broken. Couldn't they go see a doctor or something? All right, if you're determined not to cooperate, then let's discuss the matter of you terminating your contract with the company. The contract you signed with us was for 10 years. Half of it has already passed, and there are still 5 more years until expiration. According to the agreement, if your side wants to break the contract, you'll have to compensate 10 million yuan in breach of contract penalties. As long as you pay this full 10 million yuan, we will immediately let you leave the company and become free man. We also know you don't have that much money. So how about this? You just cough up half, which is 5 Million yuan, and will agree to terminate the contract. With you. I didn't even raise my head, and directly replied, I don't have money. After that, I went back to tapping onto my phone. Actually, it wasn't that I was trying to act cold and aloof on purpose, mostly because my card only had a little over 1 million yuan left in savings. Otherwise, I would have already figured out a way to scrape together the compensation money to leave. To be honest, even if I had money in my bank card, I wouldn't want to waste money on this trash company. It's simply not worth it at all. 5 million yuan. You don't have it. Well, 3 million yuan you must have, right? So let's say 3 million. Hearing that, oh, an unexpected harvest indeed. They even automatically slashed the price. It seemed either these two were in urgent need of money, or the company was running into trouble. How can you not have 3 million, don't you? Have a house and a car too. Sell them all off, and borrow some more from people, and you'll have it right. Could it be you don't want your freedom anymore? Weren't you always wanting to break the contract? That's right, 3 million is already the lowest price. Otherwise, even if we agreed, those other shareholders wouldn't accept letting you break the contract. You probably don't want to be locked up in our company to rot away for another 10 whole years, do you? I've never had a choice anyway. Since I've already been locked up by you guys for 5 years, what's there to fear about another 5 years? Lin Tuliang was so angry, he didn't know what to say, while Anduang was also furious, to the point of turning ashen-faced. His head steaming with rage, it was driving him crazy. Whenever he bumped into this guy, he always hit brick wall. In 5 years, you can accomplish a lot of things. Right now, you're still this young. If you're lucky, in 1 year, you can earn 3 million. Why do you have to let yourself be bound here? 5 years from now, I'll still be plenty young. What's there to rush? Put simply, you just don't want to pay single cent of compensation, right? That's right. Did you just realize it now? Talk about slow reactions. Wasn't my attitude and expression clear enough that you had to ask me again? In your dreams, not a single cent do you want to cough up, yet you still expect to leave the company. You must be out of your mind. All right, fine. 3 million. You don't have, then 1 million should be fine, right? I was truly speechless. What a tough nut to crack. Why won't he just compromise? For once, mainly because the funds the company borrowed had all been used to pay off gambling debts for their precious son. Otherwise, I wouldn't either be acting like a philanthropist. Under what pretext could I? Truly a tough bone to crack. Why won't he ever compromise? The main thing is that the loans the company borrowed have all been used to pay off gambling debts for your son anyway. Otherwise, I wouldn't be running a charity either. What excuse would I have to agree to terminate the contract at such a low price? If you still refuse to pay even 1 million, then we'll just have to wait until the expiration date to terminate the contract. Then, Shenshen, don't go too far. Then you can just continue living as a nobody and staying at our company for another 5 years. But before his words had even finished, he saw a young female assistant rush in panicked and push the door open. Boss Din agent. And something happened. The bank discovered that the loan wasn't transferred into personal accounts, and they've already called the police. Word is, they're also getting ready to come seize the mortgaged assets. And several of our shareholders have also caught wind of the rumors. All of them are rushing over to the company right now. Lin Tuliang and Anduang instantly turned to stone, freezing in their chairs. I stood off to the side, slightly raising an eyebrow as sudden realization dawned within my heart. No wonder they were slashing prices so fiercely. Just now turns out they wanted to get money to plug this hole. With the bank seizing all their real estate, what else did Dating Entertainment have left? That conference room was going to be seized for bankruptcy execution any moment now. And just like that, Dating Entertainment and I automatically terminated our contract, right then and there. I never expected that just casually taking a trip to the company today would automatically get my contract liberated. I was thrilled, to the point where I could barely resist posting an update on my timeline right away. Austin Agent. And thanks a lot to both of you for helping me terminate my contract. I hummed a little tune as I walked out of Dotting Entertainment and headed back to my car. My phone suddenly started ringing. I happily answered. Hello, Ye-chan. Why do you sound so happy? That was when I realized it was Gunyanian calling. My management company went bankrupt, and the contracts I signed with them had a clause stating that once they go bankrupt, the contract automatically terminates. Now, I'm a free man. Oh, really? Well then, huge congratulations to you. You live and you learn from now on. Don't go casually signing away all your initiative into someone else's hands. Wait a minute, how did you know about all this? Don't tell me today's stockholder and bank drama was all orchestrated by you. Pretty smart, aren't you? Even that got figured out by you. Of course, I knew she had good intentions, and I was deeply grateful to her for helping me out with such a massive favor. But if things went on like this, wouldn't I owe her yet another favor? As the saying goes, favor debt is the hardest debt to repay, and I was most afraid of owing favors. I meant or wife, after all. When my husband gets bullied, am I not even allowed to step in? Originally, I had planned to wait until after Gunyanian met the male lead, when she would proactively propose a divorce to me. But after this incident happened, I suddenly wanted to bring up the topic myself because I was afraid that if things kept going like this, the favors owed would pile up higher and higher, until in the end, I wouldn't be able to pay it back at all. Nian, how about we still? Yeah. And did nobody ever tell you that you shouldn't casually hang the word divorce on your lips? You're already an adult. Could it be you can't even take responsibility for your own actions and decisions? Did I force you to register our marriage when we went ever since we registered? I have never done a single thing to wrong you. See for yourself. Are you treating me fairly by doing this? I'm sorry, I just can't accept this, Gunyanian. I also have my own thoughts. After all, she was the female lead. Sooner or later, there would come a day when she fell in love with the male lead. Even if we had registered our marriage between us, it was still a doomed relationship with no future. So wouldn't getting a divorce earlier be better? Why on earth can't you accept me? Is it because of the gap in our family backgrounds? I couldn't just blurt out that I was an isekai person and knew she was the female lead, right? Let's just consider it that way. This can be counted as one of the reasons. Shouldn't we get a divorce as soon as possible? Why on earth can't you accept me? Is it because of the family background gap between us? No, I couldn't blurt out that I was an isekai person who knew he was the female lead, could I? Let's just consider it that way. This could also count as one of the reasons. Gunyanian gave a cold snort, but didn't expose him. Continue pressing the matter. Ye-chen, from now on mentioning divorce is strictly forbidden. If you bring it up again, I'll actually get mad. Or family backgrounds only look mismatched on the surface. In reality, there's no gap whatsoever. Otherwise, my parents wouldn't like you this much and stubbornly force me to go register our marriage with Gamadad-suk. You? Dazed, I didn't mention it anymore. From then on, I would never bring up that matter again. Actually, I didn't even dare to bring it up anymore anyway. After all, what she had just said also made a lot of sense, and I genuinely felt quite guilty about it. Oh, well, I'll just wait until she proactively proposes it then. Chen, are you planning to head home now? That's right. Then drive safely. Now that you're a free man, go home and think very carefully about whether you truly love this acting job or not. Although I'll support whatever job you want to do, I still hope you can choose a career that you genuinely love. Up until now, I had never talked with anyone about these kinds of things, so it felt a bit awkward. All right, I know already you nag way too much. If it were anyone else, I wouldn't even bother saying this much, you know. Just think about it carefully. In a little while when you get home, I'll talk properly with you about this. Got it, got it? All right then, I'm hanging up now. You must drive carefully on the way. I honestly couldn't handle this kind of care from the female lead. It just felt somehow weird. After that, I hung up right away. She hung up so fast. If the company didn't still have matters needing her attention, she definitely would have run straight back home to grab hold of him and say a few more words. She still had several things she hadn't finished saying yet. As for me, I had just hung up Gunyanian's phone call when a video call from Mom Lan came through. Chen, are you coming home for lunch today? Yes, I'll be home in about half an hour. Mom, go ahead and eat first. Need to wait for me. It's fine, Mom isn't hungry yet. I'll wait for you to get back so we can eat together. When I finally got back home and finished eating, Mom Lan handed me a document bag. This is the name change fee that Dad and Mom prepared for you actually. It was already prepared since yesterday, just missing a few paperwork procedures. Now everything has been completely resolved. It's nothing valuable, just a little token of affection from Dad and Mom. Holy crap, this is really just a little token of affection. Why does this document bag look so thick? I didn't even dare to open it up and look. Returning to my room, I immediately locked the documents in the safe placed on the bookshelf. As a result, the moment I turned around, I noticed the massive walk-in wardrobe in the room. Mom, were the clothes in the walk-in closet bought by you? Mom Lan was arranging flowers downstairs at the time. No, Anian bought those. When the clothes were delivered to the house, Mom just helped organize them. Little bit. But Ye Chen, your dressing room is way too small. Mom bought quite a lot of things too. Where are all these clothes supposed to go? Hearing that, I could only gently sigh. Exactly when did Gunyanian go out and buy all this stuff? Didn't she say she was going to the company? How did she still have the heart to buy these things for me? Oh well, forget it. I'll talk to her when she gets back later. By nightfall, when Gunyanian came back, she was immediately pulled into a corner by me. Oh my, it's only been a single day without me, and you missed me this much already. I looked at her face, instantly mesmerized by that gorgeous appearance. What's the deal with all those clothes in the walk-in closet anyway? Is there something wrong with those things? Could it be they're putting pressure on you? Ye Chen, don't get mad if you really mind. You can just buy things for me in return, and we'll call it even. I couldn't even be bothered to reply to her. After finishing dinner, Gunyanian led me up to the upstairs study to discuss business. Her serious demeanor once again carried that oppressive aura the moment she became Gunyanian. You can just buy things for me and call it a day. I couldn't even be bothered to reply to her. After finishing dinner, Gunyanian led me up to her upstairs study to discuss business. Her serious demeanor actually carried an oppressive aura, revealing a glimpse of the real Gunyanian. Always smiling and joking around with me on ordinary days, was actually a CEO with extraordinary capability. But the moment she turned around, she saw me sitting straight across from her. Why don't you come sit on this side with me? Seeing that I was resolute, Gunyanian didn't force the issue anymore. Ye Chen, do you really like this job as an actor so much? Naturally, I liked it, although in the beginning, I was forced to become an artist. Over the past 5 years, I had acted in quite a few roles. Even though some roles had less than a second of screen time, it was still the experience of entirely different lives. I truly enjoyed this feeling. So you still want to continue acting as long as you don't get tangled up in those messy troubles, right? That's right. I have a proposal. Do you want to hear it? I blinked and glanced at her, seeing my reaction. She faintly smiled. I already had my subordinates outline a few options. One approach is as a free agent, adding a manager to assist you. Anyway, each option has its pros and cons. Take a look for yourself. I pondered for a moment. I choose this option. Later, I'll post a recruitment notice online. Find a manager to assist me. Yo Chen, I happen to have a candidate available for the manager position right here. Why not directly recommend him to you? That way, both the option and the applicant are covered. Shen is pretty smart too. She really wanted to set a trap for him. However, the honest truth, of course, couldn't be spoken aloud. All right, but teasing him a little bit is also quite fun. How could that be actually? It's because Wu Wei cried and begged me, and I felt she was truly so pitiful that I had no choice but to recommend him to you. I was momentarily stunned. What on earth did this have to do with Wu Wei? Her cousin previously worked as a manager, then retired from the industry and stayed unemployed at home for ages. Now he wants to go back out to work. But because he's been retired from the industry for 10 years, no company is willing to accept him anymore. She knew that no matter which option you chose, you'd need a manager, so she cried and begged me to persuade you to hire her cousin. Hearing this, I had a feeling something was wrong with this picture. A moment later, realization finally hit me. Hey, Gunyanian, did you do this on purpose? At that moment, I heard Gunyanian's indifferent voice chime in. Why are you overthinking so much? If you don't want to, I'll tell Wu Wei later. Have her cousin go look for another job that settles it right. Only thing is, it'll be a bit difficult for him to find a job now. Wait a minute. Gunyanian, aren't you being way too ruthless? You are plain as day, subtly warning me that if I don't use Wu Wei's cousin, I'll be labeled as cold-hearted and devoid of gratitude, right? Fine, fine. Fine, you truly live up to being a CEO. You sure have plenty of tricks up your sleeve. Tell him to come here for an interview tomorrow at exactly 10 o'clock the following morning. Wu Wei's cousin, Du Yuanfan, arrived. After a session of interviewing, I could sense that Du Yuanfan was someone with a very strong capacity for work, so I quickly decided to choose him. Once both sides finished discussing everything, he stepped out of the villa area and only then made a phone call to report the good news to his cousin. Wu Wei, cousin, you're amazing. I knew for sure you'd pull it off. Oh, right. I still need to remind you of one thing. Actually, President Gu also has an unstated condition, which is that she strictly forbids her husband from being bullied. She also doesn't like her husband having to come into contact with filthy things in the industry. Do you get my meaning? Isn't it just about hyping him up? Stardom. President Gu didn't mention a single word of this condition to you at all. This condition sounds simple, but pulling it off to this extent is hard to predict. However, just now when I met famous, oh yeah, President Wu has never brought this up to you at all, right? This condition sounds simple enough, but executing it to what degree is hard to predict. However, just now when I met him directly, you feel he looks extremely mature and doesn't seem like the type to stir up drama. Making him famous probably isn't too difficult of a problem. In short, no matter what, as long as you can ensure that Mr. Shun is always given peace of mind, play the roles that he likes, then you can't go wrong. Oh, that's how it is. Then I understand. As for me, after Du Yuanfan's left, I went ahead and updated my bioplan across all my social media accounts. It wasn't until close to 9 o'clock at night that fans started commenting. OMG, Big Bro has finally terminated his contract with that trash company. At last, awesome, congrats, congrats. Just as I was about to climb down from the bed and head over, my phone suddenly chimed with a message notification. Turns out, it was the rising actress Xiao England texting me. She and I had gotten acquainted while co-starring in a film project later on. Once we grew closer, wedded each other on WeChat. Xiao Dinglin would occasionally send messages to ask how my life had been lately. I politely tapped out a reply. The company went bankrupt, so the contract automatically canceled. Ready. I don't have anything that needs help, I replied. Thank you, Teacher Xiao. Since you don't have anything needing help, then I won't disturb you anymore. After finishing our chat, I put my phone down and continued, hugging the duvet. Getting ready to lay it out on the floor, Gu Nianian watched me, preparing to sleep on the floor again, and instantly cracked a half-smile. Stop laying out the blankets, she said. I might as well just go sleep in another room directly, to save her from getting annoyed the moment she saw me. What kind of ridiculous logic is that anyway? Even if you moved to another room, I still wouldn't be happy about it. Stop being mad at me. Isn't it just because I was afraid you'd get bullied by people again that I wanted to hook you up with an experienced manager? If I didn't do that, would you have agreed? I literally couldn't stay mad anymore. Could this possibly be the infinite charm of the female lead's halo? Everything she said sounded so smooth. The ear, anyone who didn't know would probably think she loved me madly. Yet deep down inside, I knew full well that her treating me this way undoubtedly stemmed purely from the responsibilities of being a wife. At 9 o'clock the next morning, Du Yuanfan officially came over to start working with me. To make it convenient for the two of us to discuss work, Gunyanian had instructed the butler early on to tidy up a clean empty room exclusively for us. Yesterday, on the way back, I pulled up all the scenes from your previous roles and went through them once. Your acting capability is completely solid. In fact, based on my assessment, it's way better than many graduates from professional academies. I never expected my acting skills to actually be praised by him. Thank you. Actually, I never received formal acting training, just hanging around the set while waiting for scenes to slowly pick up pointers from the directors, then going home to ponder and practice on my own. He actually had no idea just how top-tier his own acting chops truly were. I had reviewed those scenes. Even if you just stood there like a background cardboard cutout, it was still more than enough to see your acting potential. Although your acting is stellar yesterday, I also checked out the state of your fandoms across social media platforms, and honestly, it's not looking very promising. Based on your current public standing and reputation, no film crew is going to randomly come looking for you to star in a movie. However, last night I happened to spot an opportunity that fits you quite well, namely Chengi, a major production feature film. Since the production crew is currently holding open auditions, even if you stood there, motionless like a cardboard cutout background, you would still easily spot your acting talent, although your acting skills are exceptionally good yesterday. I also reviewed your fanbase status across social media platforms, and it really isn't looking too optimistic based on current discussion levels and reputation. There won't be any production crew coming to you out of nowhere to cast you in a movie anytime soon. But yesterday, I happened to spot an opportunity that fits you perfectly. That is City of Peace, a high-budget feature film whose production crew is currently holding open auditions to screen actors. In addition to that, the director isn't choosing based on status and traffic either. Take a look at this script, and you'll see. I think the fourth male lead role in this script is an absolute fit for you. I think the fourth male lead role in this script is an absolute fit for you. After finishing the script, I genuinely grew extremely excited about this role. Then I'll have to trouble manager Duong to accompany me to the auditions. Seeing my expression, full of enthusiasm, he didn't forget to remind me with one more sentence. Yachen, don't get excited too early. Even if your audition succeeds this film, don't start filming for at least another 3 months. As for your current situation, I recommend prioritizing short web dramas to steadily build up your reputation. If you agree with that plan, I'll immediately search and see what short dramas are currently casting male leads. Someone like me, with only a sparse handful of fans hanging around during the week. What qualifications do I even have to say I disagree? As long as the script fits, anything goes. Waiting until the two of us finished discussing, and I saw Du Yuanfan out, I couldn't help but marvel at Du Yuanfan's professionalism. and work efficiency. Clearly, yesterday, I hadn't given Yuanfan any homework to take home to resolve. Yet he had voluntarily studied so many things thoroughly at home before coming, and already presented me with practical suggestions and a roadmap that was crystal clear and well-defined. No wonder Kunyanian was so insistent on making me choose this manager. This life is genuinely too easy and breezy. In 2 days, you're going to audition for Chengya. Throughout those following days, I basically just buried myself in studying and pondering this fourth male lead role. The day to audition for Chengya arrived. When I finished packing my things and prepared to go downstairs, I ran straight into Gunyanian. "Hey, why aren't you going to work today? My hubby is going out to shine brilliantly today. How could I possibly be in the mood to go to work?" Hearing her call me hubby, as I still found it a bit unfamiliar. Shine brilliantly, my foot. It's just going to an audition. For a bit yet, she intentionally skipped work for it. What if I don't get picked? It's going to be so embarrassing. As if you don't get picked, that's just them having bad taste in people. The ones who should be embarrassed are that bunch of people. Where on earth would you ever be embarrassed? All right. Stop overthinking things so much. Hurry downstairs and eat. Manager Du has already arrived and is waiting. Hearing Kunyanian announce that Du Yuanfan had arrived, I hurriedly went downstairs. After finishing breakfast, I immediately set off with Du Yuanfan toward the audition location. I hopped right into the car to head over to the casting venue. Not long after driving off, I arrived at the destination. While I was still deeply engrossed in reading the script, a voice that was both familiar and extremely annoying suddenly sounded from right above my head. "Yo Chen, why are you in this dump of a corner?" "No way, why? This guy show up here too?" Could it be that just like that he had already found a new management company to sign with? Why does this guy always have to stay one step ahead of me? No way, I have to ask him which company his contract is with now. "Yo Chen, which management agency are you currently signed to?" I was honestly too lazy to even spare him a glance. "Looking this serious, what role are you planning to audition for?" "But Munsuk, no matter what role you go audition for, you're probably going to bomb every single one anyway, right? You've only ever acted in roles lasting no more than a few minutes. Didn't CEO Din promise to let you play the second male lead? Just always stay one step ahead of me." No way, I have to ask him what agency his little lackey signed with. "Shen, which management agency are you currently signed under?" I honestly couldn't even be bothered to spare him a glance. "You acting all serious like this, which role are you planning to audition for?" "But even if you go audition for any role at all, you're probably going to bomb out on all of them, right? You've only ever acted in. No matter what, they'll probably all fail anyway, right? You've only acted through those roles lasting no more than a few minutes. Didn't President Kine promise to let you play the second male lead or something? Then why on earth do you have to run all the way here to hustle for an audition?" The smile on the face of Tan Shifei instantly turned rigid. "Whatever, let's stop talking about that woman. That two-faced butch changes her tune faster than flipping a book. Hating Entertainment just announced bankruptcy, and that woman immediately regretted it, changing her tune to introducing a new management company. Me, yet the end result was still me having to drag myself here to interview instead of just strutting straight into the film crew. He's truly not reliable at all." Taking a brief glance at his expression, I knew right away that whatever CEO Shen had promised him was definitely ruined. Otherwise, he would have already been bragging to me, because that movie's filming schedule conflicted with Chengya. I turned it down. Tan Shifei looked at my calm reaction, finally unable to help himself as he sneered. "Chen, don't get cocky. So what if my second supporting male role got cancelled? I can still come audition for Chengya anyway. Besides, right now, the third and fourth male leads haven't been cast yet. I've already signed up for both roles. Just wait and see how I snatch this role away." I advise you to pack up your stuff right now and hurry up and get lost. I was still too lazy to pay any attention to him. On the other hand, Du Yuanfan, standing not far away, had already noticed the situation over here. Ye Chen. Who is this? Do you know him? Know him. I was in the same management company as me before. Tan Xiefei. How would Du Yuanfen know who that is? Ye Chen, exactly which trash company? Did you sign a contract with anyway? How come I don't even recognize your manager's face? This is the waiting area. If you're looking for trouble, please go somewhere else. Otherwise, I'll call security. Tan Xiefei still wanted to audition, so how could he let security come chase him away? With Yi Chen's trash tire acting skills. Today, he was definitely just here to be a background prop. An audition could never possibly succeed. Once he failed, wouldn't it be better to come over and mock him then? Smug, triumphant smile appeared on his face. Because Chengya's third and fourth male leads were being cast in 2 different places. The audition venue had 2 separate audition rooms. Tan Xiefei had barely sat down for long before the third male lead room called his name. He went in for a short while, and when he came out, he angrily kicked the door of the audition room hard. Do you guys think I'm dying to be in this dump? A bunch of hacks who don't understand acting at all. If this place won't keep me, there are plenty of other places. Not keeping me is your loss. He was just about to step outside when he saw that I was still sitting there, waiting without leaving. Thinking to himself, Yo Chen's acting is even trashier than mine. But he's still sitting here waiting. What gives? No way, I absolutely have to stay here and wait for Ye Chen to come out. Word has it the 4th male lead role is judged personally by the director himself. And that director is famous for his explosive temper. I've been dying to see Yo Chen make a fool of himself right on cue. It was my turn to go in for the audition. So Tan Xiefei turned right back to the waiting area and sat down. No need for introductions, just start right away. Which scene of the 4th male lead do you plan to choose for your audition? Scene 9. Scene 9, sir. The casting directors had been screening people for so long, yet still nobody had dared to choose to perform Scene 9. This young man looks quite handsome, but Scene Ning requires extremely high emotional restraint and control capabilities. Can he really pull this off? Are you sure you want to perform Scene 9? It's still not too late to change. Yet I resolutely nodded. All right, then go ahead and start. After getting into character, I practically transformed into a completely different person. Joy, anger, despair, and finally reverting to the demented state of a 7 or 8-year-old child. The emotions progressed layer by layer, tier by tier. Everyone in the audition hall was completely captivated and thoroughly dragged into it by my emotions during the performance. Just go ahead and sit down. No need for introductions, just start right away. Which scene of the 4th male lead do you plan to choose for your audition? Scene 9, Scene 9, sir. Director Du chose for a long time, but still no one dared to pick Scene 9 to act out. This young man looks quite good-looking, but Scene number 9 demands extreme emotional restraint and control. Can he really pull that off? Are you sure you want to perform Scene 9? It's still not too late to change. Yet I unwaveringly nodded. All right, then you may begin. Upon stepping into character, I felt as though I transformed into a completely different person, joyful, angry, despairing, and finally reverting to the mad, demented state of a 7 or 8-year-old child. Emotions progressed layer by layer, layer by layer. Everyone in the hall was completely drawn in by my emotions and utterly captivated. Director Du witnessed the performance, that the path can see part of the performance of my acting. His eyes lit up and he stared fixedly at me, yet he still didn't say a word, afraid of disturbing my performance, until I finished actings and took the initiative to speak. Director, I'm finished acting. Brilliant, truly too brilliant. Your name is Ye Chen. Right. Your emotional burst capacity is extremely strong. The progression of your emotional layers was also exceptionally outstanding. You are practically the fourth male lead of my script stepping right out into reality. Director Doing eagerly glanced over my resume, just as he was about to ask something else when he suddenly realized something wasn't right. Wait a minute, you've altogether acted in less than 5 minutes of film total. This is impossible. Your emotional handling capacity is this good with practically zero flaws. How can that be? Wait a minute, you didn't even graduate from a formal academy. Director Duying grew more and more excited as he thought about it. My God, this was simply a born emperor of acting. Good grief. Dotting Entertainment actually left behind a precious gemstone like this. How could this be? Today, I've really struck gold and dug up a treasure. No, I still need to test him further. However, Doing was still a major director after all, not yet dizzy with joy. Scene in, although difficult, had no lines, so it was still considered okay. Even though your performance, Shot Somersar, was stellar. We still don't know what your line delivery foundation is like. How about I designate another scene for you to act out again? I instantly understood. This wasn't just a test of my line delivery, but also wanted to test how my impromptu on-the-spot improvisation skills were. If that's the case, then bring it on. Director Doing immediately designated Scene 3. Scene 3 was precisely the segment where the fourth male lead had the most lines. I've looked through quite a few people. Some of them couldn't even memorize their lines properly. Yoshinyu absolutely must not let me down. Just this scene alone. Truly way too simple. During the performance, Yang and everyone were shocked to discover that I not only knew my lines backward and forward, my acting skills could also be described as flawless, bringing the fourth male lead character from the book straight to life, right there on the spot. After 5 minutes, when I finished acting, Yang and everyone in the directorial team excitedly jumped to their feet, giving me a passionate round of applause. Because my acting was so top tier, they were even thinking about adding 2 more scenes. For me later on, they were clearly already extremely satisfied with me. Thank you to the directors for giving me this opportunity. We should be thanking you instead. You have no idea how long we've been searching for this fourth male lead role. Since it's settled, of course, we need to sign the acting contract. Wait outside for a moment. Someone will bring you to the office to sign the contract shortly. Once I walked out, Du Yuanfan, who was waiting at the door, immediately stepped up to ask how it went. Yichen, how was it? In truth, Du Yuanfan's heart was also a bit fluttery, although he trusted me and felt I definitely had no issues. Mountains are always higher than mountains. What if there really was someone more suited for this role? And Yichen, but oh well, worst case. We'd just look for another role, taking it slow and steady. We'd find one eventually. I smiled and told him. Director Du's side has locked me in for the fourth male lead role. They said to go with the staff member to the office to sign the contract shortly. Yuanfan nodded and nodded, saying, Really? That's great. Truly fantastic. I knew for sure you'd pull it off. Let's go. Let's head straight to the office, knowing that signing the contract required Du Yuanfan to help review the terms. I naturally had no objections, but before we even managed to spot a staff member, we saw Tan Xifei first. He aggressively strode toward us. Tan Xifei had originally intended to gloat and mock me. Just how amazing it was. Since it's locked in, of course, you have to sign the acting contract. You can go outside and wait for a moment. Shortly, a staff member will bring you to the office to sign the contract. After I walked out, Duong Vienfam, who was waiting at the door, immediately stepped forward to ask anxiously, Jishin, how did it go? In reality, Wang Vienfam also felt a bit jittery inside, even though he trusted me and felt I definitely wouldn't have any problems. It was hard to avoid the truth that beyond towering mountains lie even higher peaks. What if there really was someone more suited for this role than Jishin? But then again, it didn't matter. At worst, we'd just find another role, searching step by step till we found one. I smiled and told him Director Du has already locked me in for the fourth male lead role. A little later, he told me to go with the staff member to the office to sign the contract. Dong Vian Pham nodded, repeatedly saying, "Is that so? That's great. Truly wonderful. I knew you would definitely pull it off. Let's go. Let's head to the office right now." I also knew that signing contracts requires Duong Vian Pham to help review the clauses, so naturally I had no objections. But before we even had a chance to see the staff member, we spotted Tan Diep Phai striding aggressively toward us. Tan Diep Phai, who had originally intended to gloat and mock Tiger, walked toward us. Tan Ye Phi was originally planning to gloat and mock me, seeing me walk out from inside. Thinking that my performance was so terrible that I got booted out, he immediately rushed over to act high and mighty. Little did he expect that before he even managed to step close, he heard the dialogue between me and Du Yuanfan. What the actual hell? Du Chen actually didn't get kicked out. Director Du even locked him in to play that role. Based on what does he have such good luck? I don't believe it. There's no way he didn't pull some shady tricks. So he fumed with rage and charged right up in front of me, loudly questioning me. "Your acting is so trashy. You're not even as good as me. How on earth could you possibly bags the fourth male lead role? You have to know that. He couldn't even bag the third male lead because his volume was way too loud. It attracted a lot of people to look over in this direction." The assistant next to him hurriedly patted him. "Brother Fei, calm down a bit. Calm down, there's definitely something shady going on. Did the director secretly pick you in advance? Yao Chen, if that's the case, then why were you acting all high and mighty earlier? You're seriously making people sick to their stomachs." Coldly stared right at him, then step by step pushed in close toward him. Tan Shifei was backed up by me, to the point of panicking slightly. "I suggest you watch your tone and measure your words. If you don't know how to speak properly, then please donate that mouth of yours to people who actually need it. Do you think everyone lacks boundaries just like you?" As I spoke, I sneered and sized him up from head to toe. Tan Shifei was so provoked by me that he gnashed his teeth, instantly wanting to charge up and hit me, but Du Yuanfan's by my side swiftly blocked in front of me, intercepting Tan Shifei. The commotion grew so intense that even security had to come running over. Naturally, the directors inside the fourth male lead audition room all knew about the incident too. Director Du's temper was genuinely explosive. The moment he stepped out, before he even had time to notice Du Yuanfan, he snapped back. "Whose artist are you daring to come make a scene at my audition site? Are you out of your mind? You came to audition without even bothering to scout things out first. Who doesn't know I'm famous for being iron-faced and impartial? Where's security? Drag this guy out right now." The moment Du Ying stepped out of the room, Tan Shifei's arrogance was cut in half. On what grounds did Ye Chen get the fourth male lead role, while I didn't? If his trashy acting skills can land the fourth male lead, then so can mine. How could Ye Chen's crappy acting score the fourth male lead? If he can do it, then I can do it too. Besides, I also registered for the fourth male lead. On what grounds? Was it not even my turn yet before they locked in the casting? If that's not something shady under the table, what is it? Du Ying only now realized that he himself had indeed acted a bit impulsive. It was mostly because Ye Chen's acting was simply too stellar, too vivid and lifelike, just like the fourth male lead walking right out of the script. It made me immediately slam the table and decide to cast him, to the point that I forgot there were still people waiting behind to audition. If I had known, I should have waited until the very last person finished auditioning before taking on Ye Chen, and then this trouble wouldn't have happened. It's because I saw that Ye Chen's acting was too good, so I acted on impulse and immediately decided to cast him, forgetting that there were still people after you. I apologize to you. We've already locked in Ye Chen for the fourth male lead, so that won't change anymore. But don't you rush either. We will compensate you. You can continue auditioning. If you genuinely audition better than him, can hand the third male lead role to you, and even the second male lead role in my next film can be handed over to you as well. After all, the second male lead in the next film is also very challenging, even better than the fourth male lead of this movie. What do you think? Everyone who heard this felt that this compensation was way too sweet of a deal, and they all knew. The director was simply trying to salvage his own reputation. Tan Xiefei heard this and immediately nodded, repeatedly saying, "All right, sounds good. Then go inside and audition. Everyone go inside and watch too, conveniently supervising to see whether I truly have any shady deals going on or not for fun." It's also very challenging, perhaps even better than the fourth male lead role of this film. What do you think? Upon hearing this, everyone felt this compensation was way too generous, and they all knew Director Du was merely trying to save his own reputation. Hearing this, Tan Diepfei instantly nodded, repeatedly saying, "All right, that's fine then, go inside and audition, and everyone go inside and watch as well, to supervise and see if I truly have blind spots or not just for fun. By the way, and monitor whether I actually had any blind spots or not just for fun." Handed right to my mouth, naturally, I wouldn't refuse. So I also stepped into the fourth male lead audition hall. Tan Xiefei had been cursing away fiercely just a moment ago, but his acting was utterly obnoxious, without a single shred of skill. Not to mention the audience on site couldn't bear to watch. Ying saw his acting and grew furious all over again. What an absolute fraud. Wasting my precious time. And here I thought your acting was better than Ye Chen's. 3-year-old child acts better than you. This is the first time I've ever seen Sham Shanatron, an actor with skills, this pathetic. How do you even have the face to come here and audition? You're literally wasting my time. Security, escort this guy out. Hearing those words, everyone suddenly realized that Tan Xiefei had been criticized like this. I didn't act well, but Ye Chen acted even worse. On what grounds did you pick him? There's definitely something shady goings on. These words of his made Ying even angrier. He directly pulled up my audition video from earlier and publicly projected it onto the big screen. Ahaha. Everyone who saw my performance was completely convinced. Only Tan Xiefei, who was stunned for a few seconds initially, then shouted loudly, "Impossible! This definitely isn't Ye Chen. This is post-production editing, right? Ye Chen's acting in that wildfire show. How could he possibly have this level of acting skill? You guys are all colluding together." Meanwhile, because I still had to sign the contract, I hadn't left in a hurry yet. "Ah yeah, isn't this Yuan Fan? Why are you here? Didn't they say you retired and would never come back? Oh, Director, a long time no see. I guess I couldn't say no, since CEO Gu offered way too much money for me to come back, right? Ha ha ha. Right now, I'm Ye Chen's manager. Director, your topic is getting a bit off track. You should be paying more attention to Yoshin instead of me. We can catch up anytime we want, right? If Ye Chen gets unhappy, either of us will have an easy time." Du Ying wasn't stupid either. This young man definitely had a major figure backing him up to be able to get Du Yuanfan to personally step out and protect him. "You've always had sharp eyes, Brother Du. This Ye Chen has acting when he wants acting, and looks when he wants looks. No wonder you were willing to come out of retirement after all this time to be his manager. Director, do you know, Brother Du? Director, do I only knew that the manager Gunianian insisted on making me take. Definitely wasn't an ordinary person. I just didn't expect Brother Du be able to talk to a major director like this." Du Ying immediately looked toward Du Yuanfan, wondering whether he should speak up or not. Du Yuanfan also knew that sooner or later it couldn't be hidden, so he nodded. "That's right, the two of us knew each other before retirement. He's a top-tier manager in the industry. The artists under his charge are at least first class. He and I have also collaborated many times before." Du Yuanfan felt a bit jittery inside. "Oh God, I'm done for. Am I going to get fired over this?" While he was lost in wild thoughts, I understood things very clearly. I knew Gu Nianian did all of this for my sake when she introduced Brother Du to me, and since I clearly understood this point, I had long since stopped feeling angry. I just didn't expect Du Yuanfan to be the most formidable manager in the entertainment industry. Seeing Du Yuanfan's appearance, so uneasy clearly, worrying about something, I resolutely and proactively changed the subject director. Can we go discuss the contract now? Du Yuanfan saw that I changed the subject and knew right away that his ordeal was considered over, letting out a heavy sigh of relief. However, he still secretly texted Gu Nianian to report everything that happened today. Sure, please come this way. This time, there was no need for a staff member to lead us. He personally escorted us straight to the office. Since I only wanted to focus on acting well, there were clauses in the contract offered by Du Ying's side that needed modification as a senior manager. Du Yuanfan, yet he still secretly texted Gu Nianian to report on the events that transpired today. All right, invited guest. This time, we don't need the staff to guide us anymore. He is taking us straight to the office. Because I only wanted to focus on acting well, there were clauses in the contract proposed by Du Lu's side that needed modification. Duong Vianfam, being a senior manager, comes as a matter of course, understands these contracts the best. Regarding the unreasonable parts inside, he also went ahead and made a few minor edits. Duong usually hated modifying contracts, but he really wanted me to play the fourth male lead role. So he directly told someone to modify the contract. Because you are a new actor taking on the fourth male lead role in Chengye, and only net you a remuneration of 500,000. I was slightly surprised. 500,000, this is the minimum remunerations for a new actor when taking on this role. If there were many fans, and someone specialized in acting this type of role, our side could even offer a price ranging from 2 million to 3 million, but right now we really can't pay you that much. Apologies, we also have to consider the overall picture. It's fine. I'm very satisfied. I genuinely didn't expect that I could get as much as 500,000. According to my own calculations, getting a few tens of thousands would have already hit the ceiling, seeing as I was only an 18th tier actor anyway. After reviewing the contract and seeing no more issues, Du Yuanfan also helped confirm it one last time. Winning a role through my own real strength, where the remuneration reached as high as 500,000 made me immensely happy. When walking out of the office, I was still humming a little tune under my breath when, suddenly, my phone rang incessantly. I hurriedly answered the call. Hearing the voice of Gu Nianian, I involuntarily let out a soft hum. Du Yuanfan saw this scene. Being doted on by someone is truly great. Only in front of CEO Gue can Yo Chen be this unconstrained. The call was connected. Yo Chen, are you done with the audition? I'm at the east entrance of the building where you're auditioning, you see. Hearing this, I was a bit surprised. She came to pick me up. That's right, picking you up for lunch. Got it, brother. Du Nianian has come to pick me up. You can just drive the company car back. There's no need to drop me off. Du Yuanfan nodded and said, all right, tomorrow, I'll come pick you up for auditions again. Don't forget the audition for the male lead of a short web drama, okay? Oh, I know, so drive safely. I'll head out first. Du Yuanfan watched her retreating figure. Youthful vigor is truly wonderful. Is this the vitality of youth? I walked to the east entrance and saw not far away, in front of a coffee shop, several very familiar cars parked. I immediately walked over. The bodyguard saw me approaching and opened the door of the middles. After I got in, Gu Nianian inside reached out to grab my things, laughing and teasing. Why are you in such a rush? I wasn't going to run away. Today, Gu Nianian changed into a new outfit that made her look even prettier, leaving me dazed for a moment before I cleared my throat. That I haven't settled accounts with you yet. What on earth was going on with Brother Du? Why did you trap me like that? Yo Chen, I was wrong, okay? Didn't you say to let this matter pass and not be mad anymore? Or should I go sleep in another room tonight? I'm not mad, it's just... Oh, so what is it anyway? Whatever, in the future, you are not allowed to trap me like that anymore. Otherwise, I'm genuinely getting mad. All right, from now on, I won't trap you anymore. And I'll explain anything clearly to you. So will you forgive me this once? Why are you talking in such an ambiguous tone? She is indeed my wife. That's true. But there's no need to use this tone of voice, right? Sounding just like coaxing a child. We only got acquainted a few days ago, and our affection hasn't even had time to be nurtured yet. Fine, as long as you agree. Right, telling you this, I passed the audition. They locked me in for the 4th male lead. Seeing me change the subject so stiffly, she played along. Passing the round isn't just a matter of course. With my hubby being so stellar, I paused for a moment, waiting until my mood calmed down before speaking. Why did you come pick me up? Don't you have to go to work? I went to the company this morning already, so whether I go in the afternoon or not doesn't matter. Dad is back and waiting for the two of us to come home for lunch. Isn't it naturally the case? Why is my hubby so outstanding? I paused for a moment, waiting until my mood calmed down before speaking. Why did you come to pick me up? Don't you have to work this morning? Already went to the company for a bit, so whether I go in the afternoon or not doesn't matter. Dad and Mom are back and waiting for the two of us to go home for dinner, right? Why didn't you give me a heads up beforehand? Mom only gave me passing mention, but didn't specify when Dad would be back. I had zero idea. Today was the day Dad returned. This is really not cool at all. Dad knew you were busy preparing for your audition, which is why he told me not to tell you. I'm telling you it's just an audition. Such a minor matter. You should still give me a heads up about it. That's your career, your work. How could it ever be a minor matter? To be honest, I've never had anyone care about me to this extent. In my past life, I was an orphan. Later on, I got isekai'd to a novel. The original host did have a grandmother, but by the time I crossed over, the grandmother was already very old and couldn't care for me so attentively. Naturally, there was also no one who paid attention to my career and work like this. Thinking back to how Gunyanian saw me off to work this morning, I couldn't help but sigh and think how wonderful it would be if Gunyanian wasn't the female lead. When we finally turned to the Gu family villa, Yuchen, how was it? Did the audition go successfully? Gu Linhai, despite maintaining a stern expression, had a sharp gaze that also revealed a hint of expectation. The audition was very successful, Dad. Today, I even signed the contract. Whoa, that's awesome. Dad knew Arpua Yuchen would definitely pull it off. Our family has never had any talents in this field before, you see. On Kulinhai's face, a rare smile appeared, making me feel somewhat touched. Let's wait until everyone is happily done talking to continue. Hurry. Let's eat first. After eating, we can see what gifts he brought back for us. While sitting at the dining table, Gu Linhai also handed me a document bag. Although I usually kept my things in Gunyanian's safe, I still felt a bit pressured. Seeing that this document bag wasn't too thick, I was just about to breathe a sigh of relief when I heard, this is 10% of the shares in the Gu Corporation, and it has already been completely transferred to your name, Ye Chen. Holy cow, 10% of the Gu Corporation's shares is worth how much money? This family is way too generous. After finishing lunch and looking over the gifts Gu Linhai brought back, I neatly tucked both the gifts and the document bag away into Gunyanian's safe. Only then did my heart feel at ease. I was just about to turn around and head downstairs. Yuchen, what are you going downstairs for? Didn't Dad just come back today? Mom is also downstairs. You should go down and chat with Mom and Dad for a while. Mom and Dad aren't little kids. Why do you need me to go down and keep them company? You should just worry about your own business. Don't you still have that short film audition tomorrow? Aren't you planning to prepare? I'm already pretty much prepared. Or why don't you just go down and take a look? Otherwise, it feels kind of impolite to leave the adults sitting in the living room all by themselves. Really, there's no need for that. Yuchen, I understand your kind intentions, but mainly because Dad has already gone into the study and plans to discuss company business with you later, while Mom has already made plans to go out for afternoon tea. Right now, there's basically no one in the living room. Then why didn't you say so from the very beginning? You had to wait until I insisted on going down before telling me. Seeing that our Ye-chen is so adorable, I wanted to tease you a little bit, can't I? No, you can't. From now on, stop teasing me so much, all right? Of course not. All right, I was completely left speechless by her shamelessness. Dad is still waiting in the study, and you're still standing here talking nonsense with me. Are you planning to make the old man wait? Hurry up and go. I stood right there and watched her walk into the study before finally leaning back onto the sofa to read my script. While I was reading the script for tomorrow's short film audition, my phone suddenly rang. It was a call from Do Yuan Fan, so I hurriedly answered it. Yu-chin, you've trended on Hot Search, and it's even a negative hot search, but don't worry, my side will handle it right now. You're completely... Waiting alone in the living room is a bit impolite, really no need. Yushin, I understand your kind intentions, but mainly because Dad has already entered the study and plans to discuss company business with you later, while Mom has an appointment to go out for afternoon tea. Right now, there's basically no one in the living room anyway. Then, why didn't you say so from the very beginning? And instead, made me insist on coming down before speaking. The Arjishan is so cute, so I teased you a little bit. Is that not allowed? Not allowed from now on. Stop teasing me so much. Going, is that all right? Of course that is not all right. I was left speechless by her shamelessness. Dad is still waiting in the study, and you're still standing here talking nonsense with me. Do you really plan to make our elders wait? Hurry up and go. I stood in place watching her walk into the study, then finally leaned back against the sofa to review the script. The short film I would be auditioning for tomorrow. Just as I was reading, my phone suddenly started ringing. It was Duong Vien Pham calling, so I quickly answered the call. Jishin, you've been headshot. Online, and a negative headshot at that, but don't worry, my side will handle it. Right now you stay put. Don't make any statements. No more talking. I'm going to handle this right now. I actually ended up trending on Hot Search, having debuted for so long. This is my very first time getting a pure slash on Hot Search, even though it's a hot search, full of bashing and cursing. I'm genuinely quite curious. I thought that as just an 18th tier star, my discussion volume wouldn't be that high anyway. Who would have thought the traffics would be this crazy, climbing all the way to the top 4 spot on Hot Search? Jang An internal casting gossip, 18th tier star Ye-chen. Moreover, there wasn't just one. #about me. The #1 spot was also related to me as well. Tan Yifei livestream exposes shady inner workings of Zhang An, while another was Tan Yifei implies role in Cheng and was snatched away by Ye Chen. And #2 was singer Team Chang'an flips over. Director dares to lose his temper. I clicked on each hashtag to check them out, and finally understood what happened. Half an hour ago, Tan Yifei suddenly started a live stream, insinuating and hinting that the casting for Zhang An had unfair issues. I prepared for this role for a very long time, but in the end, the role was given to a newcomer with zero name recognition. Every single word and sentence was guiding public opinion. Before long, his fans swarmed into my account and Director Du's account to leave a barrage of comments. The trouble was that Doing is a major director, and a lot of media outlets keep their eyes on him. So the official account of the Zhang An film crew naturally caught a whiff of this hype and rushed to latch on posting articles dissecting me. I scrolled through many posts, the majority of which were Tan Yifei's fans crying injustice for him. As for onlookers, most were just rubbernecking, though some had actually watched his acting and commented, "Your acting is already this terrible. Whoever is worse than you must be a disaster. On what kind of level?" There were also some very rational slamming comments. "Why don't I believe a single word of what you're saying? Could it be that a major director has no eye for talent? A major production film using someone who acts worse than you? I won't even bother talking about you. You're garbage acting, and you even dare to go audition, I think. You're just salty about not getting the role and deliberately trying to ride on Zhang An's coattails for clout. Just break it up. It's nothing more than a view-baiting trick." However, I didn't care much about these things. And right at this moment, Tan Yifei happened to read Those exact comments driving him absolutely and utterly mad with anger. He clearly wasn't resigned. On what grounds did Ye Chen manage to bag that role? Therefore, he took advantage of this moment. His manager stepped away. Launch a live stream on his own accord. Originally, he only intended to incite his fans, flood my account with comments to boycott me, while simultaneously forcing the Jong-un film crew to cancel my actor credentials. He had anticipated that this matter might blow up into a big deal, but after Sepra, everything erupted. Why did it veer so far off course from his expectations? Why were people suddenly cursing him out? I was clearly the victim too. He genuinely scratched his head and tore at his hair. Without figuring it out, I had no idea how Tan Yifei was reacting at this moment. His fans not only flooded my account with comments but also sent to countless abusive messages. Amidst a sea of those malicious messages, I finally managed to find a message from my own fan. She had intentionally sent a message to comfort me. Ye Chen, to think there are actually people daring to badmouth you. My fiery temper has flared up. I have to go demand justice. The message was sent 20 minutes ago. No need, thank you for your concern, but my manager will help me handle this. Don't let yourself get dragged into this mess. Out of curiosity, I clicked on this fan's profile page to take a look, and sure enough, I saw her defending me everywhere, even running over to Tan Yifei's account to argue back. Every single time she hit F5, a fresh batch of new comments popped out. I genuinely admired this fierce combat strength. It really makes one take off their hat in respect. It's truly true that you can offend anyone, but you should never offend fans in the showbiz industry. As for that fan, she purposely texted to comfort me. Ye Chen, to think there are actually people daring to badmouth. My hot temper is flaring up now. I have to go demand justice. The text was sent from 20 minutes ago. No need at all, thank you, but my manager will help me handle this. Please don't get yourself dragged into this. I curiously tapped on this fan's profile page to take a look and saw that they were going around defending me everywhere, even running over to Tan Yifei's account to argue with people, refreshing every 5 minutes to drop a whole batch of new comments. I truly had to admire this fierce combat stamina. It really made one tip their hat. It's truly true that you can offend anyone, but never, ever offend fans in the CBiz. As for that other fan, now offending the fans in SBC, while that other fan, perhaps she was busy fighting on the front lines for me, so she had no spare time to notice the message I had just sent. That moment, Tan Yifei's side finally read those comments as well. Tan Yifei was so furious that he nearly spat blood right now. In a parallel development, Du Yuan fans was on the phone calling Director Du. Director Du, you've already grasped the situation. Seeing Du Yuan fan call, he immediately demanded that the Jang-on film crew release the audition video of Ye Chen and Tan Yifei. Yuan fan, be honest with me and tell me just who is Ye Chen's backer that was able to invite back out of retirement and even make you dedicate yourself to him this wholeheartedly. Director, stop talking so much. It's not convenient for me to say either. You just need to know that Ye Chen cannot suffer even the slightest grievance. Got it, thanks for the reminder. At this point, the two of them hung up the phone. The film crew immediately posted an official statement on their official account to clarify and publish the entire video recording of Ye Chen and Tan Yifei during the audition casting. Mass media caught the wind and fanned the flames very quickly. Shortly after, keywords like Jang-on film crew speaks out successively climbed up the hot search charts. Anyone with eyes could perceive through that video that Ye Chen's acting left Tan Yifei eating his dust by who knows how many intersections, plus the fact that the people who also participated in the casting that day successively stood up to testify, causing public opinion to instantly flip over completely. Everyone U-turned, criticized Tan Yifei for clout chasing. Some people even bluntly scolded him. Are you blind when they showed you the video during the casting? You still stubbornly insisted It was fake and shady. I just want to ask. One question, is admitting that someone else acts better than you really the Tan Yifei's die-hard fan base instantly plummeted in a freefall. Quite a few people even ran over to my Weibo to apologize. Tan Yifei was attacked to the point of doubting his own existence. Seeing so many people cursing him out, Tan Yifei grew even more boiling mad. Right at this moment, Tan Yifei received a call from his new manager. Meng Zhuhang ancestor, I'm begging you to use your brain a little bit. I told you not to live stream anymore, didn't I? I told you that Director Du and the Zhang'an film crew are people you cannot offend. Do you know how many big bosses invested in Zhang'an? Do you know how many connections Director Du has this time? It's great, don't even think about getting any roles anymore. An idol drama that had already been negotiated for him, completely locked in for him to play the male lead, just because of this brain-dead move of his. If not for Tan Yifei being introduced by a major investor, Meng Zhuhang would have already submitted an application to the company to terminate the contract with Tan Yifei right then and there. Right now, the other party just called to report they won't be using you anymore. That video is definitely edited. Yu Chen couldn't possibly act better than me. Are there any netizens out there who saw that casting video as fake? Are you implying that everyone else is blind and deaf, and you're the only smart one? The insults people are throwing at you online aren't wrong by even a tiny bit. Is admitting that he acts better than you that hard? His acting is so natural. If you're so good, go edit a clip yourself for me to see. Tan Yifei's face turned livid, and only now did he truly believe that Ye Chen actually possessed such incredible acting skills. I've already sent you the template. Text hurry online and apologize to him, even though you've offended everyone completely, and your future prospects are basically over and done for. If you don't apologize, you're going to get cursed out even more miserably. Hurry up. Tan Yifei, out of options, pulled out the copy-paste apology template and posted a clarification and apology post. However, no matter who it was, nobody even bothered to spare him a glance. His apology was just like a solo theatrical play. Tan Yifei felt humiliated, of course, but the people who had unfollowed him, as well as the onlookers, still endlessly pointed fingers and sneered at him. Tan Yifei grew furious. Drop a snippet for me to see. Tan Yifei, with a dark and gloomy expression, finally tweeted, Shen actually has quite good acting skills. I've already sent you the template. Hurry online and apologize to him. Even though you've offended everyone, and your future prospects are practically done for. If you don't apologize, you'll get flamed even worse. Hurry up. Tan Yifei, out of options, pulled out the apology template Kebi and posted a clarification and apology, but nobody cared about him whatsoever. His apology was just like a monologue. Tan Yifei was naturally humiliated, but the people who had unfollowed and the passers-by still didn't stop pointing fingers and mocking. Tan Yifei was furious, tore into Tan Yifei. Tan Yifei was furious beyond words. He was just about to snap back when she warned, once you apologize, just ignore whatever's going on online. If I see you fussing around and arguing online anymore, then I'm washing my hands of you too. At the same time, I'll submit an application to the company to terminate our contract. If that doesn't work, we'll straight up blackball you. Now better look out for yourself and tread carefully. Now that I'm getting cursed out by everyone like this, if they cancel my contract or blackball me, wouldn't that mean my career is totally cooked? However, Tan Yifei still couldn't help himself from continuing to rubberneck at the developments online. Meanwhile, over on my end, I didn't follow Weibo accounts belonging to Director Du and the film crew, and I didn't even know the film crew had posted a clarification post and published the casting video of the two of us. I only suddenly realized that my fans had grown much less noisy. Right after that, I received a message from that fan. Ye Chen, the Zhang'an film crew has spoken out. Your acting in that video is top tier crazy, yet Tan Yifei actually claimed it was edited. Does he have something wrong with his eyes? Only then did I find out that the film crew had clarified the matter. Brother Du must have contacted them. I was just about to reply when who would have thought she sent another message. Wait, Ye-chin, did you just send a message to? I was so busy that I couldn't reply just now. You saw that everything got resolved, right? They're truly a bunch of brainless folks, believing whatever Tan Yifei says. Thank you for going into battle and fighting for me. What are you being so polite for? You're my idol after all. The fan also immediately replied, Hugh, the boss is calling me. I gotta go get to work now. Ye-chin, let's chat again next time. I hurriedly replied. Go ahead and work. Escaping out of the chat box with her, I once again scrolled through the news online after browsing a circle and confirming that no one was badmouthing anymore. I went ahead and followed the accounts of Director Du and the film crew. Once everything was settled, I continued preparing for tomorrow's short film casting session, completely unaware that the online comments about my casting video were increasingly railing off course. At first, they praised my acting for clearly being a level higher than Tan Yifei's, noting that my selection had zero shady dealings involved. But afterwards, it turned into a hysterical rave party of silly people bombarded by continuous close-up screens. He's so damn handsome. His peak visual appearance is real. Hurry up and go follow him. They acted as if they'd been injected with chicken blood swarming. To follow my account, the media outlets obviously didn't miss out on this traffic wave either. Very quickly, the keyword under the entertainment industry majestically popped up on the top search trends. And if I watched as the online situation flipped completely upside down like this, getting so furious that sparks popped from his eyes repeatedly. He didn't dare to make any reckless moves, terrified that his manager would force him to cancel his contract. Therefore, he could only swallow his anger and watch onlookers praising me one after another. At the same time, there were also quite a few people online starting to dig up my past. These makeup artists should be dragged out and beaten to death. What kind of freakish skill is this? To take a fairy-level visuals and style him so ugly, how could they? Press and media saw this and capitalized on the clout even harder, publishing waves of articles like, Who on earth is Ye-chen, the Kai, trending wildly hot online. Just within the time it took to pour a glass of drinking water, I knew full well that Ye-chen had top-tier visual conditions and would become famous sooner or later. But blowing up this fast genuinely exceeded my expectations. It's truly a bit baffling. Really, wasn't it just a single casting video? How could it capture the attention of so many people like this? Seriously, Ye-chen is truly the most leisurely artist I've ever managed. Helping him get famous is as easy as turning over one's hand. Right over here, I received yet another call from Du Yuanfan. I found it strange. Why is Brother Du calling me again? The online mudslinging against me was already resolved, wasn't it? It really was a bit hard to understand. Truly, wasn't it just a short video clip? How could it attract so much attention? Honestly, Shenshen is truly the most laid-back artist I've ever managed. Making him famous is as easy as turning over one's hand. Right over here, I once again. Making me famous is as easy as flipping a hand. Over here, I once again received a call from Duong Vianfam. I found it strange. Why was Manager Duong calling me again? Weren't those online posts cursing me already? Resolved and done with? Or could something else have happened? Yoshin, you've blown up, do you? Know that right now on every social media platform. There are hashtags about you everywhere. Everyone is praising your divine looks, and your fan count has skyrocketed, reaching 300,000 already and still continuing to grow. I was a bit dazed. Did I get hacked? Why so suddenly? I haven't even done anything. Hurry up and go online to check for yourself. For the time being, don't post anything hastily. Wait until things settle down before we figure out the next step. I nodded. I knew, too, that being right in the eye of the storm means making no statements is the best course of action. Hanging up the phone with Du Yuanfan, I hastily went online to take a look. Sure enough, the hashtags on Weibo were full of my name. Everyone was wildly praising my appearance, and the fan count on my account was truly surging like a storm. Just like this. Yuan fan said 300,000, but when I logged in to check, it had already crept up to 400,000. I was genuinely bewildered now. Do people like my looks? That much my face before crossing over into the novel was identical to the original hosts, but it couldn't possibly be exaggerated to this extent, right? However, having many people praise me still felt very happy, even when reading comments that not only praised me for being handsome, but also praised my acting skills. I felt an unexplainable surge of emotion. No way, I have to work even harder, and absolutely cannot let my fans down. So, humming a tune, I continued preparing for tomorrow. By dusk, my follower count was already approaching 1 million after Mama Gu learned about it. She immediately took leave of her circle of girlfriends and personally headed into the kitchen to prepare dinner for a father and daughter, Kunyanian. Upon hearing this news, they remained quite calm. Temporarily don't disturb Yechen. Kunyanian went online to scroll for a bit and saw that the majority of posts were comments praising me. The corners of her lips curved up slightly. I knew right away that Yechen could do it. Yechen is truly amazing. It's also a reward for all the hard work he's put in for so long. This is all what he deserves to receive. So she casually registered an account and clicked follow on me. As dusk settled, Hunyanian finally came upstairs to call me down for dinner. Her expression when calling me for dinner looked very normal, and I had no idea that everyone intended to throw a celebration party for me tonight. I just hurriedly followed Gunyanian downstairs only to be grabbed by Mama Gu. The moment I reached the lower floor, showering me with endless praise. Aigu, our Yechen has finally gotten the recognition he deserves. Those old lady friends of mine today during afternoon tea with me, let me tell you how jealous they were of me. As for Gulinhai, he smiled and said, Yechen's down. Hurry over and eat. Today, your mom personally stepped into the kitchen, and Nianian even pitched in and helped a hand. The bridge of my nose suddenly stung with soreness. Clearly, today's lunch. The person who deserved to be celebrated should have been Gu Linhai, not me. In the end, for some reason, it turned into a celebration party for my successful audition. I hurriedly spoke up. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad. Thank you. When I turned to thank Gunyanian, I suddenly paused. Why not thank your beloved wife? Mama Gu teased. Thanks, wifey. Actually, I intended to call her by her full name directly, beforehand right in front of Mama Gu. I had already intentionally used the pet name, wife, with Gu Nianian. Calling her by her full name now would risk making the two of them overthink things, but if I called her without her last name just using Nianian, it would feel even more awkward. So Mom and Dad walked into the dining room to wait for us first, leaving the space just for me and Gu Nianian. She said, Let's go, hurry and go eat. What are you standing there for? Gunyanian didn't seem to mind at all. Mom's doing. Gulinhai smiled and said, Jishin is down. Hurry up and come eat. Mom personally went into the kitchen today, and Inyan even pitched in and helped a hand. The bridge of my nose suddenly stung with soreness. Clearly today's celebration lunch should have been for Gulinhai, not me. In the end, for some unknown reason, it got turned into a celebration banquet for my successful audition. I hurriedly spoke up. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Dad, thank you. When I turned around to thank Gunyanian, I suddenly paused. Why not thank her dearest wife, son? Mother Gu teased. Thank you, wife. Actually, I wanted to call her directly by her full name, but earlier, right in front of Mother Gu, I had already intentionally called Gunyanian, wife. So if I called her by her full name now, I was afraid the two of them would overthink things. But if I didn't use her surname and just called her two-syllable name, Nian Nian alone, it would feel even more bizarre. And so, Mom and Dad walked into the dining room to wait for us first, leaving the space just for me and Gunyan Nian. Go on, hurry up and go eat. What are you just standing? Therefore, Gunyan Nian seemed not to mind at all. Let's go. Hurry up and come eat. Why are you just standing? They're doing nothing. Gunyanian didn't seem to mind at all at my flustered state. She just let out a light laugh and walked into the dining room. After Gunyanian walked out of sight, I stood outside the dining room for a moment before finally going in. Evernoah had already shifted to a different topic and was chatting animatedly about something. Seeing that no one was paying attention to me, I breathed a sigh of relief. I figured my fan count would surely plateau around there as well. Who would have thought that waking up in the morning and turning on my phone would reveal that my fan count had broken through the 4 million mark? I was once again shaken. There really are tons of people online who simp for looks. Although I also appreciate good looks, I would never hit the follow button just because someone is pretty. Of course, Gunyanian is an exception. Who says Gunyanian isn't just stunningly beautiful with outstanding work capability, but also happens to be my wife? She parodies in front of me every single day. Even if I didn't want to look, it'd be hard not to, but this can also be considered a good thing because now my fan count has started to stabilize again, and all sorts of hot search topics about me are gradually dropping in rank. I suddenly felt a lot more at ease. Although I feel that being famous is good, it gives you more choices. I never thought I would suddenly blow up overnight in such an incomprehensible way. Human life truly holds way too many wonders. As soon as I walked downstairs, I saw Gunyanian eating breakfast while Father Gu had already finished eating and was drinking coffee while reading the newspaper. Gunyanian saw me sit down and immediately pushed a freshly peeled boiled egg right in front of me. I intended to refuse, but seeing that Gunyanian had already peeled it for me, I had no choice but to pick it up and eat it. After finishing their meal, the father and daughter duo headed to the company together to work. Before leaving, Gunyanian even gave me a hug. There's a banquet tonight that I need to attend, so I won't be coming back to have dinner with you. This phrasing sounded a bit ambiguous, leaving me momentarily unsure of how to reply. It's fine. Go ahead and take care of your work. The short film audition didn't start until 10 o'clock, so I wasn't in a rush either. I gave Uncle Lam a heads up and then hopped into the car with Du Yuan fans. Heading over. I'm heading out. Even. I was startled by yesterday's situation. In all my years in the industry, this is the first time I've ever seen someone rely purely on looks to pull in over 4 million fans in under a day. And all of them are look-obsessed simps who just need to maintain this face of yours, and your empire will always stand right there. Yuchen, this follower count can at the very least guarantee you a decade of glory and wealth in the entertainment industry. I think you're exaggerating. It's just a face, and there's no shortage of people prettier than me out there. Why do you have this gut feeling that these fans' attention will wander off very soon? Yuchen, you still don't have a clear perception of your own looks. I bet that at least in the eyes of your fans, there won't be anyone prettier than you. Besides, it's really hard to find someone who can replace this face of yours. Do you think picking up anyone random off the street will get you praised by masses for having divine visuals? The eyes of netizens out there are super sharp. Although I still felt he was exaggerating a bit, who doesn't like hearing the flattering words? So I chuckled and said, Brother, let's stop joking around. I honestly think you're blowing things out of proportion now. I'm about to blush from your compliments. Only then did Du Yuan fan steer the conversation back to the main point. Now that the fan count is starting to plateau, and the haters targeting you have also cooled down, you can post a message to thank everyone for their care and interest. Oh right, it's best to record a short video. If you just post a few lines of dry perfunctory text, people will think you're just phoning it in. Saying that I picked up my phone and filmed a short clip of myself. Hello everyone, I am Ye Chen. Thank you all for following and supporting me. Right after that, I uploaded this video to my account. Oh my god, a visual crit right from the opening second. Save me. Is this even legal? Actually think you're exaggerating way too much. I'm about to blush from your compliments right now. Duongvian fam finally got around to the main point. Right now, your follower growth has also started to plateau and the haters' heat towards you has also died down. You can post a message to thank everyone for their concern. Thank you for your concern, everyone. Write best to record a short video. If you just post a few dry words of gratitude, people will think you're being perfunctory. Right after I took out my phone and recorded a short video of myself. Hello everyone, I am Shenshen. Thank you all for following and supporting me. Following that, I uploaded this video to my account. Oh my god, visual assault. Right from the opening second. Save me. In the end, is this an immortal sword finger? What is this? No one can stop me from gluing my eyes to the screen. Just a single blink, and I'm already fainting. This comment of mine became a hit just like that, soaring to thousands, even tens of thousands of likes. Both of us were shaken. Blind spot also hit the hot search. Supreme Godly Visuals Ye Chen status was pushed to the #1 hashtag almost instantly. Just how terrifying is this kind of influence? Du Yuanfan hurriedly opened my profile page to check. My follower count had started surging crazily again in the site. I didn't know what to say either. Before long, my private messages multiplied and even the WeChat messages of Du Yuanfan grew significantly more numerous, with quite a few mysterious messages saying they wanted an exclusive interview with me. Yachin, will you take interviews? A lot of media outlets are messaging me wanting to do an exclusive interview for you. Becoming famous too fast seemed to make me somewhat uneasy. I still wanted to walk step by step. So I said, brother, can we decline interviews? Of course you can, this is your career. So naturally, it's all up to you to call the shots. Do whatever you want to do. Don't forget, I'm just an employee working for you. Then brother, do please help me directly reject them. Right now, I just want to focus on today's short film audition and move forward relying on my own acting to steadily establish myself step by step, rather than relying on these things that make me feel uneasy. That's good too. You've just become famous, and taking interviews right now would also make people feel that you're in a rush to capitalize on this hype, which would cause aversion in some onlookers. If you want to be an actor naturally, it's still best to rely on works to stand firm rather than relying on these gimmicks. Hearing this, I nodded. I thought the exact same way. No matter what, you must first have works to your name. Otherwise, it will only make people feel like a castle in the air that could collapse at any moment. So Du Yuanfan helped me decline all the interviews. After declining them anyway, your fans are all look-based fans. Even if you don't take interviews, this hype and popularity are still there. Furthermore, your acting isn't bad either. Added to the fact that the follower count keeps growing, surely very soon people will be sending scripts over to my place for you to star in. In the future, we won't need to overly rely on hunting for roles ourselves. We'll just need to select the roles you want to play from the scripts sent by others. This was also what made me immensely happy. This matter was indeed very good. The choices were truly much more numerous than before I became famous. There's one more thing. Now that you have this many fans going out, definitely cannot mean just having one manager, which is me anymore. As your manager, I'll also be busy with a lot more tasks and will have even less way to look after you every single second, so we still need to hire people. At the very least, we must hire one more driver and one assistant. Just for this, no problem, you just call the shots. Next second, he suddenly asked, so can I hire someone from my own family? Mostly because President Gu already gave instructions that outsiders cannot know you are her husband. Otherwise, you'd have to drag countless bodyguards everywhere you go out. However, hiring strangers is something I genuinely feel uneasy about, since after all, the junior assistant and driver will definitely also frequently follow you around. That's fine, as long as your family member agrees and is trustworthy. Go ahead and hire your family member. As for bodyguards later on, if you need them, you can just pick 2 people from my house to head out with you. After all, the house keeps so many bodyguards anyway. They're definitely more trustworthy than hiring outsiders. Brother, do make sense. What's more, if it truly reaches the point where I need to bring bodyguards outside, reaching that step means my travels carry danger. I still cherish my life and won't be stubborn about this matter. Once it's truly necessary, I'll talk to Gunyanian. Bring 2 people out. Although I wanted to draw strict lines with Gunyanian on everything, current issue was that everyone would surely assume we'll also routinely follow you around. That is fine too, as long as your family agrees and they are trustworthy. Just hire your family's people, then. As for bodyguards later on, if you need them, you can just pick 2 people from your house to go out with you. That will do. Anyway, keeping so many bodyguards at home, they're definitely more trustworthy than hiring outsiders. Manager Duong makes sense. And furthermore, if you truly comes to their point where I need to bring bodyguards outside by that step, it means my comings and goings are in danger. I still cherish my life very much and won't be stubborn about this matter. When the time comes, it's truly necessary, I'll tell Gunyanian to bring 2 people out with me, even though I want to draw a very clear boundary with Gunyanian. Current issue is that everyone will assume the 2 of us are a single entity. It's truly impossible to draw a completely clear boundary. There's nothing else to be done. Yuanfan glanced at his watch. It was almost time for the short film audition. Yuchen, let's go. Let's head out and get going. Short film auditions aren't as complicated as long-form, heavily funded dramas. The audition process isn't that complex either, but rather very simple. As long as you keep a calm mindset, you're definitely going to pass. I originally thought that arriving at the audition venue, no matter how simple it was, would still require doing a trial performance. Who would have thought that? As soon as I arrived, the short film director immediately stepped forward and said, "Yuchen, is it really you? Look at you. You've blown up to this extent already. Why are you even coming to audition anymore? We wouldn't be able to afford to invite you. We can at most offer you 30,000 yuan a day. However, your current circumstances are a bit special, so I've already submitted an application to the company to see if we can pay you 50,000 yuan a day." Yuchen, you must have just heard it too right. Our company side can manage to pay you 50,000 a day. It's just that we don't know if you would agree to it. If you agree, this male lead role will be yours. Although I didn't dare to believe that it would be locked in this fast, still politely asked out loud, "Director, do I not need to audition? What audition is even necessary anymore? You have looks like this, and you even successfully auditioned for the 4th male lead role in Chang'an. Obviously, your acting has no issues either, Penda. If you had no acting skills, let's face it, your fans would still be more than willing to pay money just for this face of yours." Hearing this, I couldn't help but start. Doubtful is whatever. This director shoots actually decent. I've already checked everything out. Director Lai is just a bit too honest, but whatever he shoots can still match up in quality with high-end, long-form dramas. Even though the time frame is short, he can shoot in quality that rivals high-end long-form dramas. Regardless of whether what gets filmed goes viral or not, you can tell that the director genuinely has the chops. If Brother Duh has already checked it, then I have no more doubts left. I've read the short film script provided by you guys, and I really like this male lead role. 50,000 yuan a day works for me. Actually, I also harbored a bit of selfish calculation of my own. If it were an audition from before, I reckon I could only pull in 2,000 or 3,000 yuan a day at best. Turns out being famous really is great, getting paid a lot more too. That's fantastic, truly fantastic. This short film of ours is adapted from a currently trending web novel. Next week, specifically in 3 days, we start filming, and it has to wrap up within 5 days. About a month later, it can go live. If you don't have any objections to these terms, let's sign the contract then. I have no objections. Afterwards, I looked over the contract. Sure enough, being famous is just great. Even though director Lai didn't know, Du Yuanfan, upon hearing that there were requests to modify a few clauses in the contract, he readily agreed because the company had already instructed Director Li, as long as it doesn't exceed 50,000 yuan per day for Ye Chen if he has any other requests, just accommodate them all. Anyway, the underlying meaning in and out of those words made it clear they wanted me to play the male lead for this short film. The company calculates things so shrewdly. After all, this is Ye Chen's first project that he's shooting right after exploding in popularity, now that he has so many fans. And all of them are active fandom members, and a short film launches this fast. It can definitely cash in on this profit wave. Even if this short film doesn't blow up wildly, it's still guaranteed to make a tidy sum. After I signed the newly revised contract and left with Du Yuanfan, my online follower count skyrocketed rapidly, surpassing the 7 million mark. Even I was stunned. After seeing it, Du Yuanfan, they are all active fans, and since the short film is airing so fast, it can definitely cash in on this wave of profits. Even if this short film isn't a massive hit, it will still definitely make a good sum. After I signed the newly revised contract with Duong Vienfam, left, my online follower count skyrocketed quickly, surpassing the 7 million mark. I myself was left in shock, and Duong Vienfam stared with his eyes wide open upon seeing it. Afterwards, all sorts of opportunities flooded in: interviews, commercial gigs, game shows. Everyone was frantically direct messaging Duong Vienfam. For the upcoming interviews, manager Duong uniformly declined them, while for the remaining commercial contracts and game shows, I had manager Duong keep an eye on them for me. After all, I still have to pay Duong Vienfam a salary, and furthermore, once I hire a driver and assistant, there will also be their salaries to consider, along with daily work expenses, which are not a small chunk of spending. On top of that, I myself also need to spend money. It's just that in 3 days, we'll have to join the crew to shoot a short film, so right now I don't have time to take on these gigs and can only let manager Duong keep an eye on them for me first and talk about it after I finish shooting the short film. True enough, even until now, there are still scripts being sent to Duong Vienfam wanting me to act in dramas, because in 3 days, I have to proceed with shooting the short film. Duong Vienfam has rejected all the scripts needed in a rush. The other scripts he didn't rush to reject, holding on to them to slowly review later. After that, Duong Vienfam dropped me off at the Gu family home and left earlier. The two of us successfully signed the acting contract, initially talking and laughing from ear to ear. At noon, the two of us finished lunch before I went upstairs, busy myself with my own affairs. At 4 in the afternoon, I received a call from manager Duong. Your fan count is broken. 10 million. You're back on the new hot search. Did you know? I was instantly startled and went to check it out. However, I could clearly sense that, even though it was still high up on the hot search, the fan growth rate had slowed down quite a bit, probably reaching saturation soon. Visual fans probably could only attract this many. To attract more fans in the future, I would only be able to rely on acting and my other talents, perhaps on personality and other aspects. Hearing that it was reaching saturation, my heart instead grew more grounded, because I prefer the feeling of stepping firmly on the ground, advancing step by step, rather than relying on illusory vague things that fade after being popular for a short time. In the evening, during dinner, Langa, Shu, and Gu Yunhai unexpectedly congratulated me. A fan, proper fan favorite, Gunin Nian, because of attending a banquet, was naturally not at home. By 8 o'clock at night, my Weibo follower count barely increased anymore. I curiously glanced at it. It was already over 11 million. Sure enough, the looks-obsessed fandom was extremely fanatical. but luckily for now, it had stopped growing. It wasn't until 9 o'clock at night that I saw Gu Nian turn. Gu Nian pushed open the door and walked in carrying the scent of alcohol on her. Then I blurted out, "Did you drink alcohol?" But as soon as the question left my mouth, I couldn't help feeling a bit regretful. Wasn't that just talking nonsense? She went to attend a banquet, so of course, she had to drink alcohol. Gu Nian nodded and replied, "I drank a little. Does the smell on me make you feel uncomfortable?" Without waiting for my answer, Gu Nian had already unclasped the women's watch from her wrist, casually placing it aside, and continued, "If you don't like it, won't drink anymore starting from now." I didn't say anything. Why shouldn't you drink anymore? You don't need to tiptoe around me. I'm just someone who is sensitive to smells. I seriously had to admire this mouth of mine when going out to entertain guests. How many people don't drink alcohol? Wasn't saying something like that completely out of my mind. Oh really? I thought you were caring about me, turns out. You were just talking nonsense. I felt a bit unnatural, my gaze, dodging away and not daring to look at her. You only drank a little bit anyway. It's not like you drank a lot. Why would I care? The next time I'll drink a little more so that you Jishin will care about me. How about that? Hurry up and go take a bath. You've been tired all day long. Gu Nian looked at my slightly flustered appearance, smiled, went to shower. After she finished showering, I was getting ready to sleep when unexpectedly Gu Nian climbed onto the bed and directly hooked her arm around mine, giving me a start. "Jishin, don't move around wildly, okay?" she said while, "Don't move around randomly, okay," she said while, "Evaluate me, I figured it out right." Way, my whole body stiffened like a log. Luckily Gu Nian had already turned off the lights, but we couldn't just keep sleeping like this, either waiting for me. I hate waiting. How annoying, furthermore, the distance was so close. The scent of her body made my heart beat wildly, out of control. There was no way I could blink. I suddenly remembered Mum saying in 3 days, you have to join the crew to film. You have to shoot for 5 days, which means you'll have to be away for 5 days. Stop hanging around here bothering me. My heart rate is already out of control. I am not in the mood to interrupt. We finally built up a little bit of feelings for each other, and now we're about to separate already. Why did hearing these words make my brain short-circuit with a loud bang? This really is something she dares to say. Anyway, since when did we have feelings for each other? Gu Nian seemed to have no intention of waiting for my answer. She just chuckled softly by my ear, then changed the subject right. And that made my ears both hot and itchy. What a bad woman. How could she be like this usually? Teasing me was one thing. Why is she still teasing me now? Like this, she really did change the subject. Hubby, if I hadn't called you, wouldn't you have called me either? This question left me not knowing how to answer, so I frowned and said nothing. What is this supposed to mean? Why don't I get it? Did you really not notice that I didn't contact you all day today? Are there any days in the past few weeks where I didn't call you? Of course I noticed. But noticing it didn't mean I could say anything more about it. I had to memorize a lot of lines, so I got so caught up thinking about that I completely forgot. I feel like my brain is like paste right now, totally inflexible. And I didn't know whether to answer that I noticed or didn't notice it if you weren't going to call me. Fine. I've already come back here. And you didn't even ask what I was busy with all day to not even have a single phone call to spare for me. Oh no, could she actually be feeling wronged? Now I felt that her usually calm and composed voice even revealed a hint of grievance. Is she still the big shot I knew? Or what? Thinking about this, I couldn't help but feel a bit of a headache. When you go to work, you're definitely busy with your job. Besides, Dad came home today and told me that you had a lot of work today. You're busy with work. So what's there to ask? I don't care. You just don't care about me. I was speechless and couldn't argue back. Then Gu Nian muttered again, by my ear, hubbies in the future. You need to learn to care about me and call me. You know, got it. Once I finish memorizing my lines, I'll take the initiative to text you. That's a good boy. After you finish shooting this short drama, I'll go buy the sweets you like to eat for you every day. Feelings welled up inside me. I always thought once the script ended, we would get a divorce, but over the past few days, she had protected me everywhere, dealt with Zhang Yuanfan, and treated the Gu family's parents with genuine sincerity. The boundaries that drew a line between us had faded long ago. 3 days later, I joined the crew and underwent training after 5 days of filming. Wrapped up no matter how late work ended. Each day, I would punctually text Gunyanian, report my schedule, and occasionally send a few funny photos from the set to her. The crew members secretly teased me about it on the outside. I denied it, but on the inside, I quietly welcomed the warm feeling the short drama just aired and instantly went viral, directly on my platform with tens of millions of fans, resonating combined with my natural acting, gaining praise all over social media. The studio also officially announced the casting for the main role and officially released a complete audition clip, pushing the hype to a new height. Zhang Yuanfan screened scripts on my behalf and turned down all official audition clips released, pushing my hype to a whole new level. Duong Vianfama screened scripts for me, rejecting all negative commentary. All game show programs were meant just to keep only high-quality film projects. I safely stayed in the crews and diligently polished my acting skills. In a different turn of events, the fallout from Tandiep Phi previously spreading rumors to smear me came crashing down. She went live on her own to spread false rumors and got blacklisted by all production crews in the industry. Her only remaining commercial endorsement contract was also abandoned by fans all at once. She could only take low-budget extra roles, playing minor parts in web dramas. Her popularity plummeted without stopping, and she had no ability to cause trouble for me anymore. She also completely restrained her nature and stopped competing and envying everywhere, content with playing supporting roles to hone her acting, considering it a light price to pay for her own rash behavior. The contemporary Best Actress Teodin Lan has since always maintained a friendly senior-junior relationship with me, frequently sharing acting experience later on whenever there was a suitable leading and script. She would even proactively recommend me as her co-star. We became good friends, supporting each other in the industry. Half a year later, Tuanon aired my 4th male lead role and based on a multi-layered character, brilliantly won the Best New Face award on the day of the award ceremony. Kunyanian brought Lanthuk and Gu Yunhai to sit in the audience. Their eyes, from start to finish, were always focused on me. I held the trophy tightly in my hands. I could rest assured chasing my dream as an actor. Known of this, would be separated from my wife Gunyanian, along with the unconditional tolerance and support of my parents before that. I always worried about the distance between us now. I finally realized the best fate has never been submission to a predetermined script, but two people moving towards each other. The award ceremony ended, and upon returning to the Gu family estate, the shares given to you before were just a little token of sincerity. This contract is for the film subsidiary that Dad and Nyanian managed together, now giving you full authority to be in charge. Whatever genre you want to shoot, or any newcomer you want to boost, is entirely up to you to decide. This isn't charity, but a business we run together. Dad believes in your judgment of character. At night in the room, only the two of us were left. I took the initiative to sit beside her and held her hand. At first I thought you were the female lead in the book, destined to be infatuated with the male lead. I always thought about drawing a clear boundary with you, even threatening divorce at every turn. Enough with the teasing already. You knew the plot of the book early on, but you never wanted to live according to the script. After meeting you, what I wanted was never some male lead, but just you. From now on, I won't care about those plots anymore. I'll work hard at filming and hard at staying by your side, learn to remember you in everything, and proactively share my everyday life. A year later, I established my own film studio. Zhang Yuanfan took full charge of managing the business affairs. The studio recruited quite a few talented newcomers who lacked resources. Gunyanian and I reorganized a wedding, a beach wedding during the National Day, holidays that we had looked forward to for a long time after getting married. Understood each other when I went filming. No matter how busy I would always make time to be with her. She set aside some of the trivial matters at the company and personally studied scripts with me. Lan Uk occasionally called me out for a stroll. Gu Yunhai also chatted with me about plans in the film industry. The family was harmonious and happy online. There were no longer any negative debates. Left my work successively broke records in the entertainment industry. Tandyep Phi became settled and steady, polishing her acting skills, and occasionally, when we bumped into each other, she would even take the initiative to greet me. She let go of her past envy, and everyone found peace in their own growth when free, and my works broke records across the entertainment industry one after another. Tanyut Phi became well-behaved and steady, honing his acting skills. Whenever we occasionally crossed paths, he would even take the initiative to greet me. He let go of his past envy, and everyone developed peacefully. When I had free time, she let go of her past jealousy, allowing everyone to peacefully grow. When she had free time, I and Gunian sit on the balcony watching the sunset. She leans on my shoulder, clasp her hand tightly, feeling an immense peace. Deep down in my heart turns out that a mob character like me, who originally had nothing to do with the plot, ended up not meeting a parting fate, like in the book, along with a female lead who was supposed to stubbornly chase the male lead. We broke free from the predetermined script path to cherish each other and fulfill one another, obtaining a complete and peaceful life. Happy life 5 years, months and months together. From now on, the long road ahead has my favorite career. A loving family, and I have her always accompanying me by my side. That is simply the best ending.